Happy Wednesday evening if you are within the Eastern time zones. Welcome one and all to Swim or Sink 202. You've got the Sawsticks pair on the mic for this stream. That's right, I'm Frostix joined by Sasu. And let's see and bear witness to Wavelength versus Aura Blast.
This is so exciting. We are back on the mic. I know y'all were clamoring. You're like, where's Sawsticks? Sawstick, we were talking about it. Sawstick sounds like some sort of yummy food, a candy, if you will. And I think, speaking of sweet treats, super excited to see both of these teams in groups, Wavelength and Aura Blast, which are fairly close in their seed, I believe. So obviously both of them, I think, overcap in terms of how many members they have. So also going to be interesting to see which members are actively playing.
Yeah, it looks like 6 members on Wavelength and a whole 7 on Aura Blast. It's like 2 teams of Power Rangers going up against each other.
Yeah, I think, like, I always love when I see a whole squad, because, like, I have to wonder, like, are they going to be switching out? Are they like, listen, no, we've got, like, a map, per map mode, we have these specific people who have to play, so it might take a while to get through, who knows, but obviously we're going to be doing zones, and we're starting off with Mako Mart zones.
So of course, Mako zones, one thing to always keep in mind here, watch the high ground, and whoa, we're seeing, I think that's Aura Blast in the yellow, sporting 2 swords, both a Wiper and Decapitator. They're also sporting Clash Blaster. Meanwhile, on the end of Wavelength, we're seeing Recycled Brella action, some mini action, and some big swig stocks rising. Let's diving into the match now. The zone is still in neutral, it's halfway capped between both ends. We're seeing Nava trying to go in, they get shot down by the pencil here. That's no swig, that's a lot of pain. Immediately declined, and there's 2 down on both teams, but Aura Blast will be the one to cap the zone first.
Listen, I'm so excited to see these loadouts, especially that Clash Blaster. We know that as much as you don't really see Clash Blaster all that much, listen, I think Amy after my own heart there, because I think I really love to run it, and I think that maybe it's going to work well for them. But you see already, unfortunately, that hammer does go down. Omen also getting a pick on them. The Clash Blaster is actually, funny enough, the only person up, but they have their Zuka. So I think that members of Wavelength are trying to move in here and see if they can just kind of spawn camp, make life difficult. But we have this 1v1, and ultimately they do go down to that Zuka. So right now, with those 3 members down, I think finally Aura Blast has their hands on their zone, and the clock's ticking. Finally, they got some points on the board.
Exactly. Stop it right before Wavelength can go further deeper into their points. We're seeing this bucket here. Vitatic has the strikes. They will be throwing it down, accompanied by the mini JL Omega. They're able to take down Whack. They pop the stamps, throw it towards the zone. Here comes a splashdown from the big swig, not putting it into neutral just yet here. We're seeing the Clash Blaster putting up a lot of pressure in mid here. Kopeth is entering the scene with this Recycled Brella. They go down in a trade, 2 down, both sides here. Whack is trying to keep everything sustained. They go down, well, I think, to the mini, it seems. Omazen is now on the scene with this Decapitator, and now the yellow team, Aura Blast, still in control here. Vitatic's trying to take them down. They go down in a trade to Omazen, but now with the Recycled Brella and the big swig on the scene, the zone will be flipped right back in Wavelength's hands.
Yeah, I think that you saw members of Aura Blast, 2 of their members went down. They kind of moved back, give them the space to work. But honestly, I think that Aura Blast just has an extremely aggressive comp. Like you mentioned before, they have that double sword. That's going to be really helpful for those legends, for taking those stacks. And you know it, say it with me, he who controls the stacks controls the game. So I feel like if they're able to take those stacks, even with a Clash Blaster, and just chip whoever's standing there, that might be good for them. But they're playing maybe a little bit more conservatively. Omazen trying to chip out that person on zone, but with the hammer, finally those people go down. I think we're going to see that camped into a double. Fantastic work for Aura Blast, and quite frankly, that penalty that they have isn't too deep. I think they might start working on their points if they play their cards right here. So we'll see if there's a switch here, or if they happen to get chipped out and go down.
Do they have the winning hand? That being said, Wavelength going 2 down. The zone gets flipped into Aura Blast's favor. It's only the Clash Blaster down on Aura Blast's end here. This bucket is backed into a corner, but they are able to get rid of the Wiper, as well as the Decapitator, potentially the Clash as well. The Clash goes down in a trade, and Wavelength is taking back mid and potentially stacked with full force. Nav is going to be able to get rid of DJ Pawn here, potentially Whack as well here, but this sword, both of the swords are trying to put up a fight here. The Wiper does go down, the Roller does go down. Kopeth is almost at there. Big Bubbler here holding on the line. That recycled Umbrella Shield just blocked that Zuka shot. Nuts here. And now we're seeing Wavelength trying to rally their members towards mid as the zone goes back into neutral here. Wack's going to be able to get rid of Kobeth. The Stamp is trying to hammer down the bubble here. It will be thrown, getting rid of JL Omega here. It's only the swords Wack and Omazen here, and they have a lot of work to do if they want to keep this zone yellow, especially with the big swing on board.
Yeah, I think this hammer has been responsible for a lot of deaths, I think, on either side. But you see, we are ticking down. Aura Blast doing a good job of making sure that's painted before the splashdown comes out. So with Omazen popping that bubble, I think that keeps a lot of the zone secure. But they almost get checked by that big swing we see just kind of camping out there. And it feels like right now, Wavelength is, despite the fact that a lot of the times I'm looking up and they have like 2 members down, you see right now they have 3 members down. Wavelength is getting the picks exactly when they need it, you know? It almost doesn't matter that they're at a deficit because if they have the members like that have to stay up, they just jump in and then make quick work. So a wipeout is gonna happen here. That is a lot of members down, and right now I think it's just about management for Aura Blast. If they play their cards right, especially because we're about to go into OT, they may have it.
Yeah, especially, that being said though, Wavelength does throw the strike fight. Talik will not put the zone into neutral just yet, and now it's in neutral with Kobeth. I think also with the big swing and the bucket in tow, this overtime is not lasting long enough for Aura Blast, which means Wavelength will take Honekoneko Mart and the first game of the set.
You know, Frostix, I was saying it, like, despite the fact that they had several members down, not to mention, I think they got wiped out, right? Like, they received a wipeout, and yet they were able to just come in and get the picks that they needed exactly when they needed it, putting a stop to that push. So really, Wavelength, even if they're not winning the numbers game, their timing is impeccable.
Yeah, they just have the, it's like you were saying earlier, Sasu, they are getting the right picks at the right time here, making sure to shut down key aggressive members like both of the swords here, not to mention how much paint output Wiper and maybe like even Decapitator can output here. So that is game 1 going to Wavelength. The second zones map that we're doing is Hagglefish Market, of course, the map of many names, it seems here. Oh, is it tower? Is tower? Okay, getting some word within the voices of my head. This is actually the tower control in the middle of the zone sandwich. So this is TC Haggle.
And that is so interesting because I feel like I have such vastly different feelings about tower versus zones Hagglefish. I was going to say, you know, both of these teams are going to have their plan, etc., etc. And despite the fact that tower control Haggle is a mainstay of competitive Splatoon, I think because of how snowbally it is, how out of control the game can kind of slip out of your fingers once you get past that second checkpoint, at that point, sometimes it can just feel hopeless, in my opinion, because you get to that first check when you're battling the tower on that top right. Once you get past that point, you kind of haven't made it the shade. So both of these teams, rather than going to the knockout, I'd argue are going for that second or third checkpoint.
Oh, definitely so. I think like past that second checkpoint, things start to become a little bit more climby. And in terms of comps, we're seeing a little bit of changes. On this end of Aura Blast, we're seeing the Range Blaster. We're seeing the CRB, which has Kraken, of course, good staying power, good chip damage. Meanwhile, on the end of Wavelength, we're seeing Paintbrush action from Nava already getting rid of Wack here. And if there's something I will say, Paintbrush is a force to be reckoned with in the right hand. So we'll just have to see what Nava can pull off with that Paintbrush.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly enough, we're looking at the V Paintbrush here. So it's going to have that Wavebreaker instead of the missiles, which you think most people would go after, but Wack gonna be traded back out, but not without 3 members going down on Wavelength. But we've seen this song and dance before. It almost doesn't matter if 3 of their members go down sometimes, because it seems as though Wavelength, as long as they're able to get out of their spawn and put up a proper fight, they may be in a good position. But finally, that tower keeps going, and they're passing by that top right that's really defender favored. So with the wipeout here, I don't know, it may be curtains here, Frosting.
That hammer throw from Whack is what all Wiper players want to see when you activate the special here. And Whack is still causing havoc, accompanied by Omazen. The pencil has gone down, but with the amount of pressure and the amount of damage that Aurablast has done within the span of a couple seconds, Wavelength have a lot of work cut out for them. And AB Rose, their Kraken is staying on tower. They're able to get past the second checkpoint, and Whack gets another double kill with hammer, and that's a wipeout! That is a blitzkrieg match for Aurablast!
Yes, and that is another blitzkrieg you and I are personally seeing on Haggle once again. This time tower, of course, but I don't know. It's just as I said, this can just be so snowbally, and once you no longer have to deal with being contested on that top right where the other team has that high ground, it just kind of is what it is, and definitely we're gonna have to give the MVP to Whack, who just ripped through the other team with the main weapon on that Wiper and that hammer. Crazy to see.
Yeah, when you have a weapon that can extend that far with a weapon like Wiper or with a weapon like Brush here, taking that far right side if you are on the offense here, it is deadly. You are in such an isolated position. You're able to use your AoE to just pressure out the team really deep into their own spawn, like just getting the attention on yourself. So this is going to push the set to game 3. We're already in our first set and the action is hot here. Aurablast still under 2 swords and range blaster comp. Meanwhile, Wavelength going back to Big Wig does make sense since this is zone. So Sasu, let's dive into it.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting, especially because this is known to be a really good Wiper map. You have that hammer and you can just chase everybody away. I feel like a lot of the really great Wiper players are often picking Umami, so we're gonna see if this is going to work out really well for Whack, who's taking that center mid, trying to put on some pressure, but Amy Rose still absolutely on it, chipping out people and staying alive, most importantly. You have that Swig trying to put down that paint, but you see, despite the fact that we are past the 30-second mark, neither of these teams have been able to put good work on the zone. But just as I say that, you see a wipeout there on Wavelength. So now Aurablast is going to move up to this nasty choke here on Umami, and we're going to see if Wavelength is able to get out of it.
Yeah, you cannot escape the wrath of the Kraken right now. And already AB Rose is in a really good position, dropping down into Wavelength's pit. Whack, unfortunately, gunned down in the streets of Umami Ruins. And Omazen's trying to go in for a flank. No, they drop into the pit here. And DJ Pawn's actually positioned on the dome. That's a really good spot for your backline to occupy. That way you can secure some jumps in here. The hammer does come out from the mini here. There is 2 down on Wavelength. Now 3. Will this be a delayed wipe? It does seem like that's the case. And already Aurablast is just becoming a blockade for Wavelength. They cannot break out of their spawns for the life of them. Both specials online, and especially the strikes being invested, things may change. There's 2 down on Aurablast here, and Wavelength is starting to mobilize. They do at least put the zone into neutral. Will this be the cap? Will Whack interrupt this? I think they may have a potential, especially with this hammer coming up, but no, finally, Wavelength puts the zone in their hands and applies a 6-7 penalty to Aurablast.
You see that Aurablast was trying to just kind of do the same thing that they did last time in terms of locking out Wavelength. And you see, they have just taken their spot right back. There is a bubble up, which is absolutely devastating because they can just jump in and keep jumping in. And yeah, this is just kind of nasty because ultimately when it comes to Umami, the key to victory is making sure that the other team staggers and that you get into that choke. And now that Aurablast is there, it's not looking great for Wavelength.
Yeah, especially when you see that Rage Blaster just take a dip into the abyss. But right now, Aurablast is already trying to counteract, first getting rid of JL Omega, and now Whack is rallying the rest of Aurablast to the choke. Omazen has now taken the field here. They are potentially, yes, alongside Whack, they are able to get rid of Neva. Also, Kobeth here, already putting quick work on the zones. 1 zone already capped. Whack is already moving in to take a fight with JL Omega here. Will they take the fight? No, they're going down, but the zone is right back in the hands of Aurablast. Aura Blast. The bubble has been invested by Omen to block off the choke point on Wavelength, and that decav could be very devastating if not accounted for, and if it's allowed to stay, could put a lot more pressure on Wavelength as they're trying to break out. They have two specials online. They have the Trip Splashdown as well as the Big Bubbler here. Kobeth's Big Bubbler will be put on the zone. It does put it into neutral, but not entirely, and Neva is now on the scene here. With the Big Swing to output, it should be able to recap the zone for Wavelength here, but they are out of ink, but now finally they're right back in control. Wavelength is not going down without a fight, Sasu.
Yeah, absolutely not. They keep denying Aura Blast the knockout, just like we kind of saw them do on Mako Mart. They're saying, listen, no, we're locking in. But Amy Rose, of course, with this Kraken, not able to get the pick, but that's why you have teammates Wack finishing it off for them before going up, getting that chip in, torping a lot of the people on the enemy team. But it just feels like ultimately Wavelength not in a position to really fight the other team. Like, when you're on Big Swing, like, it's for painting, not really for fighting. So you have, like, J-Lo here, just trying to, like, get those picks on that mini, and then even then, this is, I think, the mini with Hammer. Hammer's really good here, but maybe if you have a Zuka, where you can just delete the other members of the team, that may increase the fighting power. But you see, we're all the way down to 35. That bubble is down, and these jumps are being camped. Wavelength obviously still not in a great position, especially with time ticking like it is.
Yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the coffin when you said deleting the entire team. We saw a wipeout here. These jumps are immediately being camped, and Wack is charging forward. A hammer throw to end off the set. 2-1. This set's winner will be Aura Blast. And I think this game, this match in particular, we saw just a lot. We saw just like maybe a culmination of those last two games here. We saw even more combat power from Aura Blast, and we saw a lot more of that versatility coming out from Wavelength. So of course, big shout outs to both of the teams right now in brackets. That's more points for Aura Blast's end.
Yeah, I think ultimately Aura Blast clearly doing a really strong job of utilizing these maps that allow you to run away with the win. I think that both of the times they won are on map modes where you cannot afford to stagger. So they did just that. They got their picks, they got their wipes, they staggered out Wavelength, and I think that ultimately led to their victory here.
So then, hey, that is the end of at least round one in the current moment. I'm not sure if round two is ready to go so far. Oh, is it ready to go? Okay, so we're getting some new intel that round two is, I think, ready to go. So you get to still hear the Risk of Rain soundtrack, Peak soundtrack, as we go into round two. I'm not sure if it's being shown on stream just yet, but we will be seeing Los Inklings versus Game and Washed.
Oh,
hey, Saucy, isn't that like, ain't that your team?
My team? What do you mean?
Oh no. Oh, maybe it's not. I think I'm remembering things wrong. Sorry.
Wait, Los Inklings? Maybe you're confusing me with Hammy, our peer, well known for being on Los Inklings, a Reflex player and a commentator in our community. But they're going to be facing down Game and Washed. So you see, they've got the bleach. They're ready to go. Let's see if Los Inklings can come out with the win. This is going to be fun to watch.
It definitely will be good to know. I mean, like, this is more so on a caster end. I've talked and casted many so blocks with Hammy, and I've only seen him play every so now and then. But at least one thing we can be sure of, there will be Reflux at the function.
Yes, we are excited to see the Reflux. Imagine, sometimes, you know, I could be wrong. Excuse me. I know Hammy to one-trick Reflux. He pushes it. It's very important to him. But, you know, sometimes you have someone who's like, this is my thing. And you're like, oh, I'm ready for the Reflux. Maybe it's JJ, and you're like, I'm ready for the Brella. And then you just don't see it, you know? They're like, listen, not for this comp, not for this tourney, or what have you. So definitely we all have our fingers crossed to see the legendary Hammy Los Inklings Reflux, especially because with NA League going on, we're seeing a lot of Reflux being used in turf. Yeah. So gonna be exciting to see it with some use outside of turf.
Yeah, because of the new dawn of Turf War within the NA League's format, Reflux stocks are on the rise. So, at least within Game 1, which will be on Mahi Mahi zones, I think especially once the water level drops, it will have a lot more space to go in. Whoa, we have an intruder! We have an intruder!
Everyone in the chat root for Los Inklings. This is a Reflux verified moment.
Oh, I was gonna Cam. It's perfect that he came in here. I was saying, listen, I don't know if we're gonna get the Reflux. Hammy himself in the VC to confirm we will be seeing the Los Inklings Reflux. Exciting stuff, Frostix.
Like, this sounds like a breaking news being revealed to us in the present moment. Hammy just crashing the VC. So, like I was saying earlier on Mahi Mahi Resort. Once I think the water level drops, there will be a lot more space for that Reflux to cover things up. I think when the water level's up, things could be a little bit more testy, but I have no more time left to yak and analyze. Let's get into it.
Yes, and we are taking a look here, Hammy on that Milk Reflux, and we are seeing a Tent, a Junior, a little bit more of a standard meta comp, especially because Teresa on Los Inklings there with the heavy, which I feel like sometimes you're seeing a little bit more heavy these days, but that's especially interesting because Los Inklings, of course, instead of having a heavy edit, they have that zap, but 3 of their members go down. Game & Watch trying to move up, but ultimately, we don't know if that's going to lead to a massive push, because sometimes I do see it where one team just gets an early push and then the other team gets their lick back and they just move in with ease. So you see Teresa able to drop here, trying to get some paint down. Right now it is a little bit cramped, but I think with that dropping now, despite the fact that Teresa is alone and has gotten a triple, they're gonna go down 2, and that solo Stamper is going to keep the helm in having the zone painted.
Right now, the rest of Los Inklings have entered the scene. Hammy charging up the B-Fluxes. Booyah Bomb will flip the zone. There's 2 down on both teams, but we're seeing Slug put up the paint here. The soda will be dropped. The bucket has gone down. Teresa has gone down, but Slug is moving in. They are able to at least get rid of, I think, the Junior on Game & Washed here. Meanwhile, we're seeing Equals here trying to join Hammy in the fight against Ace, who is jumping out here. And Los Inklings are already trying to establish their position. Teresa's the last to pick up the Soders, but I'm hearing a Zipcaster being popped by the Stamper on Game & Washed. Meanwhile, there's 2 down on Game & Washed. That Zipcaster being cut down in the streets of Mahi Mahi Resort. And now it's looking like Los Inklings will get the run back, take the lead, and have a further hold going on.
And you see, all of this is because, like, despite the fact that they went down, I think that Hammy was able to just paint over and contest that zone with ease. So now that Los Inklings has been wiped by Game & Washed, we're in that same stalemate where Los Inklings is going to have to figure out how they're going to drop here, because they have a lot of threats coming at them. You see Bleach trying to get a pick, but while they're gone, Los Inklings does cap that zone. So I think that is a delayed wipe perhaps. No, it's not. That Slosher able to jump out very wisely, because if they're able to get their strikes, which they do currently have, they might be able to just kind of cap with ease. So here come the strikes. Static moving forward to see what they can do with that, but ultimately they have to get the necessary picks. They're doing it with 2 people down, and they take the zone back.
Turn off the TV, it doesn't matter what channel, they hit the zone, and they hit it with impact here. They are able to at least flip it back in their favor here, counting their 20 penalty points down further. That being said, Los Inklings has the Wave Breaker, the Booyah Bomb that is being charged, and a Zuka coming in hot here. Hammy does get cancelled mid Booyah Bomb, but here comes the Zuka shots from Equals here. There's 2 down, 3 down potentially on Los Inklings, and the strikes come right back from the bucket on Game and Washed here. And now that they're out of their penalty points, they could potentially get their lead back here. They're cruising through the 20 threshold. There's the 21. The league has been taken, and now they're in the 10s. The rest of Los Inklings are trying to scramble, but with reflux and shots paint output, they do flip the zone, applying a 49 penalty points to Game and Wash. Los Inklings not going down without a fight just yet, and now Bleach is trying to fight out what looks to be either Slug or Equals. The Zipcaster does get popped here, and Bleach is diving into the backline trying to get a circle back, but now the rest of Los Inklings is jumping back, and Game and Wash is going to start counting their penalty down once more.
Yeah, it feels as though you see Los Inklings right before your eyes just slipping through Bleach's fingers. 2 of their members are going down, but ultimately, I feel like they have to get Hammy down, really, because we've seen time and time again, they may have 2 people down, but as long as Hammy's still up and Painting has that Booyah Bomb, they are going to be under threat of their zone being flipped, and they do just that. 2 members up, it's both of the shooters just trying to get that out, and you see that they are really making quick work of their points, already down to 7. So right now, not only does Los Inklings essentially have to dive the zone to figure out what they can do here, but I'm sure they're also panicked. Those strikes come out and there's just not enough time, so despite that, Zuka not gonna do anything, and that's the first game for Game and Washed.
Not enough time, not enough resources, not enough people here. It's like you were saying, Sasu, they started to scramble like a bunch of cracked eggs, if you will. So, so then that's that first game going to Game and Washed here. And I think they were just playing a lot of good control throughout this game here. What Junior can do, what Tent can do, especially what Stamper can do on a map like Mahi Mahi, can just chop up territory for Game and Wash to play in here. Whenever that 10 shield comes out here, that becomes a wall of damage absorption. Whenever that bubble gets popped by the Junior here, another bit of barricade that can potentially stop that Booyah Bomb or the more aggressive members like the Zap or the Shot here. And then especially when that Stamper decides to start going in, there will potentially be blood. So big shoutouts to Game and Watch for reading the room, if you will. The next stage on the set, unsure if it's Clams. So Clams Museum Alfonsino. It's Clams Museum.
Absolutely, and that's gonna be super exciting because of the comps that we saw. Of course, I would argue Los Inklings are a big strength that they had is they had a lot of paint. 2 shooters, of course. You have Hammy on perhaps, if not the best painting weapon in the game, along with a heavy, but now we're not necessarily looking at paint all that much, not to mention there's not many players on Game & Watch who seemingly need a lot of paint. A lot of these weapons paint for themselves for the most part. I think that being Tent, Splatana Stamper, V-Slosh, like a lot of these weapons, no one's gonna necessarily be painted out. So I'm interested to see if we're gonna see some switches on Los Inklings for the matte mode, or if they're kind of like, this is what we're going, especially because Milk Reflux, I think that kit came out and we all collectively said, yes, Reflux has a stronger kit that's more available, but I don't know, maybe you might want that Reef Slider or those missiles on a place like Museum. I guess, yeah, who knows? But, I mean, we will know as soon as we get into it, which we're doing right exactly now. Taking a look, obviously, whoa, no, I think there has been a change. If I'm not mistaken, off that pencil for Game and Washed, instead they're running a Splash. They've forsaken their cooler. They're fine going coolerless, but interestingly enough, on Los Inklings, we're seeing an Octobrush and a custom Jet Squelcher. They are also forsaking their cooler, so I don't know if a gentleman's agreement or what is going on, but things have certainly shifted.
Shifting indeed. That Booyah Bomb will hit mid. It will also be really devastating when the brush goes in, taking care of Static as well as Bleach here. Now Hammy's trying to go in, trying to, I think, ledge out mid or ledge out Game & Watch plat. Right now, the clam economy definitely in the favor of Los Inklings, 13 to nada. But right now, Game & Watch does at least have a Zuka ready on the tent umbrella. A Booyah Bomb is being charged by Hammy. The strikes are coming out from the bucket here. The brush is going down. There is 2 members down on Game & Watch, but I'm not sure if Los Inklings has the resources or the members necessary to get a push going, especially when Nia pops the crab on Game & Watch's newly switched Splashmatic.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Hammy to get that last clam here because the clam economy is firmly on Los Inklings' side. But if they go down, it's just not really gonna help them. And you see 2 members going down on each side, but still you have that custom Jet Squelcher along with a Hammy on that reflux, just hoarding all of these clams, especially compared to Game & Watch. So I think they're in a really good position to possibly make a push if they get their specials, but ultimately I think Los Inklings, at least as it appears to me, their game plan is to make sure that they just ink out the other team. They put paint on the floor, so it's just difficult for the team to go forward, and I think unless we see that hurts for me to see. Hammy had so many clams and now they're gone. I think we're going to see the paint go down on the floor before they start their push.
Yeah, Los Inklings does at least have 2 power clams in their back pocket. This could be deadly if an opening presents itself, but as soon as I say that, both the Wiper and the Jet Sculpture go down, and potentially the Brush as well. That jump is camped by Bleach, and it's actually looking like Game & is looking to get a push going here. They have 1 power clam. That's a 2nd power clam in their back pocket here. Ace needs to get in. Can they get it in? Can I say match catchphrase? Will it happen? No! Ace is getting cut down here. But Bleach could potentially pick it up as well, but no, they're going down to the Brush. It's only Nia, the splash, left on Game & Watch. A 2nd power clam will not be hitting the basket just yet.
And I'm so glad that it doesn't, because you see that gives us this closer game. Game & Watch only makes it down to 74. Of course, you and I know, Frostic, you want to make it down to that proverbial 60 points because you don't want to give the other team an unnecessary power clam. This, you have the hammer coming out, just kind of taking that space. But it seems as though finally the other teammates coming in here. That jump happens, but extremely unfortunate that they do trade out. They might have been able to take that lead if not, but right now it's just gonna stay at 80. They're gonna give the other team a power clam, and we're gonna stay at this stalemate at 1:30.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Game & Watch just charge through mid here. The crab is already being invested by Nia, but it gets jumped by Teresa, who goes down to Ace, who pops the Zuka. There's 2 down on both sides, and Hammy strikes. They are able to get rid of the tent, but the power clam will be getting the basket. It will push Game & Watch's lead to 67, but right now I don't think there's anyone else to follow that up, which means Game & Watch's lead will stay at 67. And now Los Inklings really looking for that opportunity. The Booyah Bomb does get invested here. There are 3 power clams on the floor for Los Inklings to work with here. No specials, however. Meanwhile, on the end of Game & Watch, the Zipcaster is ready to go on Bleach here. They're trying to fight out Slug, who does go down, but the power clams are going in, and they did it! They did it! They wiped out, but 2 power clams and a 2nd power clam has hit the basket. The catchphrase is real.
Wow, what talk about a sneaky push there. I didn't even see them necessarily. The barrier is back up. 2 of the members are going down, and Nia with the jump, I think they are going to switch right back in terms of the lead with under 30 seconds to go. So that is extremely unfortunate for them. They've run it all the way to 36, and they run in, and they do get that jump in. That's 3 members down, but now Los Inklings, who perhaps only felt as though they needed maybe 2 power clams, they're gonna have to risk getting their hands perhaps on 3. They're gonna have to work really hard. You see that they have 3, but of course that means the other team knows exactly where they are, so this push is going to be super difficult, especially taking into account what specials they have available. But you see, they're trying to have a sneaky jump there. They do get called out, and I think we are just so far in here that they're gonna have to Hail Mary it, but with 3 of the members going down, that is just gonna be it.
It looked like Los Inklings was trying to take the conveniently placed box, trying to take the cut in order to get things going, but Game & Watch simply responds by saying, okay, we're just going to watch this corner very, very well, and I think they definitely saved their specials for an overtime as potentially volatile as this, having things like the crab tank or the strikes ready to go to just block off any potential Hail Marys from happening is definitely beneficial for Game and Wash, who will take the set 2-0.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, very difficult to be a team that really relies on outpainting the other team, trying to make their resources kind of bunk by giving them no paint to work with. But I think it was just kind of a counter comp in terms of what they were running, making it super difficult for Los Inklings. And we saw a glimmer of them possibly winning there at the end, but definitely I think we just saw a sweep at the end there. But we are going into the next set, I think, pretty much immediately, looking at Honekoneko fans and ball up top, I'm gonna say cubed.
Oh, I think I am familiar with ball up top cubed, but Honekoneko fans, that is a new name on my end here. So that is round 2 all said and done. More of the points going to Game and Washed. Let's see what is potentially in store for round 3. It is still a zone sandwich with the middle meat being on Rainmaker, but we're opening the set with Robo Ramen zones, a true staple of Splatoon 3.
Yeah, I remember seeing Nerdy Adam playing in CCA, I think, over the weekend. If I'm not mistaken, might be a shot player. Do not get mad at me if that is incorrect, but yeah, because I've seen several of these players, I'm excited to see ball up top cubed, but Honekoneko fans, listen, you were talking about how common Robo Ramen is, like, perhaps, especially, I want to see these comps because there are just so many weapons that can take advantage of the flanks, of the verticality of Robo Robin, that could do serious damage in that elbow. So there's definitely still a lot of intrigue for me as to what we're going to see going into this next set.
Love to see the sneaky get explored. There are a lot of ways to get onto the bottom layer of the ramen bowl. That way you could slurp up the benefits of a huge flank here. One thing that is possible if you end up being really locked into your own spawn, not locked in, but locked out of your own spawn by, a team that's like really taking control of elbow and pushing things in past that point into court. Look, what you can do, I kid you not, is there's a elevated platform like on the right side of your spawn. If you squid roll off of that, you execute a thing that I call a sneaky jump, and then you go straight into the bottom layer, and then you can flank onto the zone itself here. It does take longer to do than just going through elbow, but if you can get that flank off and like potentially hit the C9 on them, it could be dastardly.
Yeah, possibly, but you gotta hope that nobody sees you, because when you're down there, someone can just drop on you and pick you off. Like, sometimes it just feels, you see someone drop to one of those parts of the lower layer and they just jump out because they're like, listen, this is not where I want to be. But let's take a look at these loadouts. We see a leader, which is definitely a little bit more popular these days, and interestingly enough, a sploosh on the side of Honekoneko fans, but I've seen some serious damage done with a sploosh on this specific stage and mode, so wouldn't be surprised if we actually see some strong work out of Honekoneko fans.
Being said, I'm pretty sure we just saw that bucket immediately go down to a shot from that E-leader, and they're already moving in. 2K is trying to take some positioning alongside, I think, their Zap as well as their Zimmy. They do take the lead. The Zap has gone down here. The Soda does also come out before it happens here. I think we're seeing the sploosh go down to this leader who is putting work both close range and far range, landing a quick scope onto Madison. They're still in control without even going into elbow. Nerdy Adams trying to make work of a potential flank down in the bottom layer with that sploosh. But I think we're just seeing Honekoneko fans being awfully stagnant, but the strikes do cap the zone, and this could potentially be the opening that Honekoneko fans have been wanting.
Yeah, interesting about that name 2K. I'm like, is it just half of the 4K? Is it maybe they simply don't have the full range, the leader there, but usually a leader super very difficult here. And speaking of difficult, Kamek on this edit, an edit up against a leader is a losing matchup, as you see right before your eyes here, but 2K trying to see what picks they can get into that zone, trying to tap shot this last person before very wisely giving up and getting that getting their special out. But ultimately, I don't know, it seems as though Ball Up Top Cubed is just not in the position to really set themselves up, and they have to watch themselves to make sure that they don't stagger so that they can get back into mid.
Honekoneko fans are really close to knocking things out, but there's 3 members down. It's only the bucket left here, and Nerdy Adam alongside Nap is going in past elbow into Honekoneko fans spawn. The carbon does go down here, but the bubble does get popped by the Zimmy. There's that blockade that could potentially lead to a sneaky jump if it comes down to it. And now we're seeing Ball Up Top Cube out of their penalty points, breaking through the 50s into the 40s. Here comes a hammer from Milo Woe alongside the strikes here. This will put the zone into neutral and put the zone right back in Honekoneko fans' hands. But now 3 members down here, and with this leader watching with an eagle eye, Fortnite is just trying to run away. They are able to jump away, and now Ball Up Top Cube right back in control, counting their penalty down.
Yeah, and you know, I think the fact that they have that leader must make it super difficult on the Honekoneko fans, because, like, as you can see, people will just get deleted, point blank. Forget anybody just trying to come up and get that pick, especially because you have a sploosh, like, your keep away is super difficult because the sploosh can just kind of walk up and then, they're up against a leader. So finally we have that switch in lead, and I think this lockout is just too powerful. The leader has just made it too difficult for Honekoneko fans to get back into mid, giving Ball Up Top Cubed the win, despite being at disadvantage for most of the game.
Yeah, I think what really sealed the deal was 2K going really deeper into Honekoneko fans' snipe. Usually, maybe you'd see the leader hold, I'm not sure what the call-out is, but it's like a further right position towards the drop. But if they're on snipe, they have vantage points of even, like, their spawn points. Leader's range is just capable of pulling that off, and it's a FNAF security camera at that point here. You just kind of have to point and click heads as if you are a tactical shooter opper. So that is game 1 going to Ball Up Top Cubed. Game number 2 in the set will be Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track. This is a personal favorite of mine, simply just because of how volatile it could be and how aggressive, and just kind of how, like, fast it kind of plays.
Listen, and that's why we're Sawsticks, because this is also one of my favorites to watch for sure. I think that as much as people, you know, there's been discourse about Rainmaker can have some of the most hype matches to watch, especially if neither team is really going all in on the stalling. And quite frankly, a lot of the time in Humpback Pump Track, you won't see that, because, like, if anything is quote-unquote stally, it's that elbow once again, because it's so difficult to slam dunk that Rainmaker and get your points. So it's super exciting to see whether they can get that check, and then the run to the final check is just so difficult with the other defending team having all of that high ground. So definitely fast-paced and super fun to watch.
What I'm, I think, a little bit interested in is, if I remember correctly, Honekoneko fans was the team with the Zimmy, if I remember correctly, and that weapon really underrated. Oh no, that wasn't Honekoneko fans, that was actually Ball Up Top Cubed. So that could be That's a really underrated weapon on Rainmaker, I feel, simply because of how good it can be for that stalling like you were talking about. It has Toxic Mist, it has Big Bubbler, and it can provide a lot of good paint and potential assisted damage. Do they realize that Noph is lying in a corner? Yes, that is the Carbon. Already the Sploosh has gone down. The bubble did get popped by Honekoneko fans, but now Noph is trying to strike. They do get called out by the Headed, but they will get rid of Fortnite. No more Fortnite! And now Ball up top trying to make a move. They don't. They won't be able to break past mid just yet.
Yeah, I think very unfortunate. You are going to have to get that pick and make out like a bandit if you really want to get a significant amount of points on the board. But I think all of the members of Honekoneko fan have basically come back in here. You see the edit just kind of being checked by that leader, surprising no one, and just barely they get denied that check. Honekoneko fan, once again, just doing a strong job of defending that check. Of course, you have the watchful eye of 2K on this leader, absolutely getting that pick like nothing, and trying to see what they can do to defend their friend. But you see them just jumping up there. They try to run it, but it just seems as though every time someone from Ball Up Top Cube tries to do something about finally kissing that check, someone from Honekoneko fans is there to just slap the ball out of their hands.
Yep, Honekoneko fans has the answers for the moment here. Milo will throw the hammer, not claiming any targets right now. They're moving through mid, potentially getting the Zimmy before retreating back into mid, and now the Rainmaker resets to mid. It's another mid off, another pop off potentially, and already the damage is being put in by Honekoneko fans here. Noph trying to get something going, but not able to pop it right in time. The hammer also coming out from Milo, not able to get rid of 2K so far, and no one is picking up this Rainmaker here. It's just a lot of damage. I think both teams are trying to do are they're both trying to just secure a good numbers advantage, and there's that numbers advantage that Honekoneko fans was looking for. They do get rid of 2 down, but someone from Ball Up Top Cube decided to take the Rainmaker, put it back in the bubble. But now finally, Honekoneko fans is able to take the Rainmaker and just barely gets to the checkpoint before 2K decides to stop it right then and there.
Listen, 2K has just been denying them their life this entire time, and I think that Ball Up Top Cubed a little bit wise about their popping. They know that the other team has a Sploosh that can just jump in and do some nasty work, but you see 2K just pop there, tries to see what they can do, and interesting to see if they'll finally be able to make this check, because despite the fact that I would argue that Ball Up Top has been playing the more dominant game with how 2K has just been making target practice out of this, they do slam down that check. Honekoneko fans had been doing a fantastic job of denying them this spot. So now that they finally have this, they're going to move it forward and even widen their lead. I think that is going to be huge for them, because we're just under 2 minutes here, and Honekoneko fans been struggling a lot to secure their picks to move forward, especially up against 2K. So we'll see if they're able to finally get more points on the board. And I think with 2K down, this should have been their chance, but perhaps it's not now.
Yeah, not if Noph has anything to say about it. And do they realize that the Carbon is there with a Zuka ready to shoot from the back? And now the strikes and the hammer are being invested by Honekoneko fans here. I think Kamek has noticed Noph here, and now they are on the run, trying to get something going. They do pick up the Rainmaker. Are they trying to get to go around the other end with the paint they established off of their flank potentially? But now they're choosing to go the other way. 2K landing another quickscope onto Madison, and Fortnite is able to stop Noph from advancing any bit further past the elbow. There's 1 minute left on the clock for Honekoneko fans to get this lead back. It definitely is attainable, but if you are Honekoneko fans, breaking through mid is a very steep hill to climb.
Yeah, ultimately, first they're gonna have to see what they can do about that leader. I think that's like their #1 ops, and then just make sure that they check the hubris out of that Carbon, because you see they did try and grab it and run it. Everyone saw them and tried to get them down, but in the meantime, speaking of hubris, they were not checking it, because the Carbon was able to get 10 more points down. We have 17 seconds, so this is likely going to be one of, if not the last pushes. But 2K goes down. This is finally their chance if they're able to manage the space. And this Zuka comes out from Madison here. But I think with Knopf just trying to get this pick, goes down in a trade, and now it is just the Rainmaker alone. Gets the pick on Nerdy Adams, so their teammates are probably going to be able to come back in here. We'll see if they survive. No.
Oh, no, they do not. Especially when 2K lands the shot. That is curtains, which means ball up top cubed will take the set 2, and oh, what a game. I think this truly was the mid-off of all time.
You mean in terms of people being in mid, or are you saying
yes.
I was like, mid-off is crazy.
No, these teams are in no way mid, but it's just like, there is no way that both of these teams were able to break past mid in the slightest. We saw that, we saw that the checkpoint was broken halfway through the match, and it was just both of these teams trying to just get to that first checkpoint here. Ball up top cube set the lead at 61. Honekoneko fans did get that Rainmaker going, finally pushing their lead to 63, and then it was right back to just skirmishing and fighting and trading and all that jazz until finally, after a little bit of hubris checking, it seems, that we saw that ball up top's cubed, especially Knopf and their sneakiness with the carbon roller, they were able to finally get that first checkpoint in and then start really just pushing more towards that final checkpoint here. They got to 40, and at that point, any progress is good progress, especially when you are pressuring Honekoneko fans even further as the clock goes down.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic showing there.
Oh, we're getting a live KD reveal of 2K across both of those games here. 14-5 as well as 11-2.
And I'm gonna tell you, Frostix, those are really good KDs, but I'm even surprised that 2K has that many deaths. I would have thought like it was lower in that last game, because it just felt like 2K was like always alive, and as soon as they would get them down, they're just back, like just picking off the team. Like, what a machine. And I think was really a linchpin in ball up top cubed getting that win at the end there. So that I think that final set is going to be sending ball up top cubed to Great White and Honekoneko fans to Hammerhead.
So, at least within the next couple blocks of stream, you will potentially see further carbon action from ball up top cubed. But before we break into brackets, I think we've got a little bit of a video to show you guys. They have Toad in their sights, and Toad goes down here. Stellar work by Nathan and the rest of 07 Honor Band. Oh, are we on?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, we're back.
Sorry about that. We are finally back, but see, we are already in the thick of it, and in the meantime, Woe has made it all the way down to 38. We have a very close recall there, like very close to death, but luckily they do recall. Laniakea has their missiles online, ready to go, and I think that's going to be a switch of hands in terms of lead. Right now, they're poised really well to just run away with this, but we'll see if the dropping water level changes anything.
When Woe has a lot of weapons that can fight well, the Carbon, the Decapitated that has just gone down. There is 2 members down on Laniakea, however, here. And we're seeing Maya on this Frozen Pro putting up a lot of good work before jumping out right in the nick of time. But now, Woe is already right back in control here. They're almost out of their 68-point penalty. Nameka is trying to cheese out the they are able to get rid of the junior before, well, at least being able to pop the bubble. They are out of their penalties. They're moving out of the 50 threshold. They're going to be moving into the 40 shortly, but now the zone goes into neutral here. And without that Stamper, without that 4th member on the team here, the zone does get flipped in the hands of Laniakea.
Yeah, I think maybe perhaps they were not paying all that much attention. Of course, you saw Candy on that right, just trying to take care of that straggler. But I think Woe just organizes themselves together, or rather, not Woe, Laniakea. I think we have a little bit of a switch in terms of the colors there. Right now, it is Laniakea that is down to 51 in the purple here. But you see that right now that they have a lot of purple on the zone here, and I think that's what allowed them to get this switch, because they're doing a really good job of camping those drops. Of course, you have Nameka on that Carbon, just making sure that no one feels comfortable. Vanoct, of course, on this decaf, interestingly enough, rather than the usual Stamper. And right now, they're just running away with it. Woe is having a hard job going back in. We're down to 6. Of course, there's that Zuka, and I think there's just not going to be the time. They put it in neutral, but it's not enough. A runaway win at the end there for Laniakea.
It was a little close to being flipped if you were Woe, but now with that very good cleanup by Laniakea, they will be getting that first win of the set. That being said, I don't think we were able to be heard for like that first opening segment. So to probably reiterate what I was saying earlier when we went back on live, welcome back to Swimmer Sync 202. We are in the stage of Great White Bracket now. Ellie did show us a rundown of who the teams were in Great White Bracket and their positioning right now. And we're seeing Laniakea and Woe seats 6 and 11 respectively. If you are tuning in, I am Frost6, joined by Sasu. You're hearing from the Sostix duo for at least one more set in bracket stage.
Yeah, exciting stuff. I'm glad to be here on the mic with you, especially looking at this set. Now, obviously, we're at a 1-0 favoring Laniakea, but like, I think, you know, for those of you who have been keeping up with the NA League, you might be like, oh, that something's a little bit familiar here. And of course, that's because Laniakea has already been made bracket, I think, the first week of the league, and it's pre-playoffs, not playoffs. It's kind of preliminary round. Laniakea made 3rd place overall, if I'm not mistaken. So these are very strong players in Nameka, Candy, Blob, who is usually on Bo, if I'm not mistaken, Cairo, and of course Vanoct, who will almost always be on Sword. So it's a wonder they're at 1-0. Woe has their work cut out for them.
Especially on the next, potentially last map on the set, which will be on Inkblot Art Academy. This can be a stage that can go really out of hand if you end up in the wrong places at the wrong time. If you can get a really strong push going, occupying bats here, you can probably get a lot of good progress in the start of the match. So let's just see what is in store from Laniakea and Woe. We're seeing, I think, Woe's still on their comp from last sets here with their Stamper Junior, Pencil, and Prozen. Meanwhile, on Laniakea, we're actually seeing Vinox go back to that Stamper you said that they played a lot of.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, once again, if you watch that NA League, it was actually... Yeah, it was actually here that Laniakea lost, I think, their bracket on this particular map mode, and I think part of the issue there was that Vinox was on a decap. So I think he has learned his lesson. He has switched back to make sure he's on his strongest weapon. Candy, interestingly enough, on a reflux, a milk reflux. Maybe there's like a resurgence going on. Everyone's seeing the milk reflux in NA League turf, and they're just saying, listen, maybe there's more use for it yet.
Yeah, it has, of course, has the amount of paint output that all the refluxes have, but with a kit of Booyah Bomb and I think Fizzy Bomb as well, it can provide a lot of good potential chip as well as a lot of good staying power. And now we're seeing Laniakea reach that first checkpoint here. Vinox is diving deep into bats here. They're met with a 3v1, but they're managing to stay alive and keep Woe's attention busy, allowing Laniakea to get the lead there at 69. Nice, before it's only left to Namecha. They have the Zuka ready to go, and they're in an isolated duel. Epic Face does go down, and Namecha jumps back to safety. The lead is now in Laniakea's hands.
Yeah, fantastic jump out by Namecha there. Very much so what you want to see from a Carbon, them just kind of getting the pick and then getting out of dodge. But you see that they are chipped here. Gonna see if they can get this pick. They secure it really good there on Namecha. And I think that no one necessarily on the tower, so they're just kind of looking around, trying to see what picks they can get. They do find one, but right now, I think their place is underneath that drop to see what they can check. A bubble goes out, and I don't know, it seems as though Laniakea is doing a good job of getting their picks, but for some reason, they're just not making that much progress as it pertains to the tower.
Well, they do still have the lead right now, but now that Woe is back on tower, especially with Zeko trying to get something going, but they get cornered out, and Namecha is now going to strike, getting rid of Maya. That's no missiles in the meantime at the present moment. We're seeing Epic Face trying to get a Zipcaster going, but they get shut down by Vinox, and now we're seeing Candy on the tower, and Namecha is firing off that Zuka here, and Vinox is eyeing bats with intent. Here comes the Zipcaster from both Stampers on both sides. T-Master is in a bit of a pickle against Candy here, but there's 3 members down. That's a wipeout now for Woe, and now this clears the board. This is Woe's opportunity to turn the tables and turn the tides of the match. This will definitely get, the tower will definitely coast past mid easily, and we're seeing Woe take a very aggressive approach. We're seeing T-Master storm bats here. They are able to get rid of Vinox. A Booyah Bomb is being charged by Candy. The Sodas are also coming out here. Woe could potentially get this lead here. We're seeing Vinox, or seeing Epic Face do go down. The lead is a 1-point margin, and there it is. Woe does take the lead.
Yeah, Namecha here does go down. That's 2 down for Laniakea, and I don't know, it just feels as though they have the fighting power, but just when it comes to objective, they weren't necessarily able to push it earlier on, and now Woe, they have an advantageous position, and they're really holding on to it. You see that they're in the bats, they're just wreaking havoc. That's a lot of green, despite being on the other team's like side, and now they're having trouble figuring out how they're going to drop up against Epic Face, who is zipping on them essentially. And when you're at this position, you know, how do you get out of it?
Yeah, how do you escape the range and versatility of a Zipcaster and also just a Stamper in general here? And we're seeing, whoa, they're almost at that final checkpoint, and with Epic Face being the driver of the tower, they will get the knockout, which means we're going for one more game, Saucer.
Yes, very unfortunately, not a redemption here on Inkblot Tower for Laniakea. So they're gonna have to look to that next game to see what it is that they can eke out, because I feel as though they did it once again, a strong job on both of these games getting their picks, but Woe just really took the momentum that they got from their picks and drove that tower until Laniakea was just on the back foot and couldn't really do anything about it. So we will be heading into Robo Ramen zones, which is a little bit more even of a playing field for both of these teams, I'd argue.
Definitely so. We've seen this already before here, maybe with a little bit more of an E-leader centered match on Robo Zones here. But what I'm really interested in is what Candy can pull out with, of course, the B-Flux. That reflux with the Booyah Bomb could be, I think, what could be kind of like the trump card in Laniakea's hand. It has so much paint output and a special like Booyah Bomb, good for flipping the zone, good for maintaining space, good for even starting a push going if you want to start occupying elbow quickly.
Yeah, honestly, you kind of read my mind. This is why we're Sawsticks, because I was just thinking, what are we going to see out of Candy? We might, who knows, just see a complete switch. Blob, of course, plays Bow. Didn't see them on Bow that last game, but Candy may switch to something else, and then we see Blob on some sort of backline Bow. Like, I know that Jet is really good here, so it's possible we see that new big bow out of Blob, who knows? But yeah, especially Namaka on that Carbon, that's gonna be interesting too, because I feel like Carbon can be such a menace here. Zuka also super strong on Robo Ramen, so if Laniakea is able to keep up that aggression, take the space and keep it, they could really put Woe in a difficult position.
I think what I do not want to underestimate Woe in this present moment here. Before that though, we're seeing Nameka switch to the Chumps Carbon. That is definitely an interesting pick coming out of Nameka. Meanwhile, I will say on Woe's end, T-Master is a very, very active junior here, and the amount of utility that Junior brings to the table can never be underestimated in. They also have Epic Face that can output a lot of good pressure with the Stamper, and of course they have Frozen, which as soon as I mention its name, here come the missiles out for Laniakea's heads. They are still trying to stay above water before the zone gets flipped by Woe, and I think the rest of Laniakea is just trying to at least recollect their resources and get going, but not diving in with the Zipcaster. Here come the Chumps from Nameka as well. The zone is now flipped in Laniakea's Magenta, and they are going to start holding.
Yeah, I think that was a really critical play there by Vanoct, who wasn't just zipping, but zipped behind them, right? Forcing them to essentially jump out because you cannot have that Stamper behind you. Candy, of course, holding that Booyah for quite a while. I think sometimes the threat of a Booyah, not knowing where it's going to be thrown, it's kind of like a Charger, in that when a Charger's there, everybody plays different. Everyone's worried about the Charger, regardless of if they can aim, right? So I think Candy also doing a really good job there. But Epic Face, we've already seen that Zip do wonders. Unfortunately, not going to get much there, instead going to go down, but in the meantime, Laniakea has lost the zone here, so right now they're a little bit worried about getting back in, but we'll see if Namaka is able to assist with that with these Chumps.
Yeah, the Booyah Bomb does come out from Candy first, the Chumps come out next from Nameka, and Vanoct as well as Nameka are trying to get rid of what I think was the junior T-Master here. There were 3 down on Woe, but thanks to the cooler provided by the pencil, they are able to respawn fast, but Laniakea is able to flip the zone in their favor, still holding their lead of 37. T-Master does pop the junior here, that's going to be able to at least go get rid of Nameka in a trade, and Epic Face will pop the Zip to potentially hunt down Vanoct, as well as potentially Candy as well. Will they get the attention at least? Yes, they will, and which will allow Woe to flip the zone in their favor.
Yeah, and now that these missiles are coming out, you see Blob displaced here, but very promptly getting back into position, trying to defend their elbow because they know that they're going to be hard-pressed to get it back if they do lose it. Candy throwing that Booyah probably to just distract the other members. Of course, they have to cave over it, and they have to go back to do so, and Vanoct once again making sure to get behind those members to just make it difficult on Woe, displacing them completely. So, Laniakea once again has this zone. Candy getting a really great pick on that bottom right, and despite the fact that they've lost it, Of course, Epic Base once again on that zip. So I think both of these teams are just kind of throwing everything that they have at the other team, and it feels as though we're at a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Yeah, as it just seems that it's paint flying left and right, specials being invested back and forth. The missiles are able to get rid of the pencil. Maya's going to be able to get rid of Vanoct in a trade, and Team Master's holding down the line here. They're almost out of their penalty points, and Team Master's moving in, but they get shut down by Nameca's intercept here. But now the Epic Face is moving in, assisted by Maya's pros, and the Booyah Bomb is being charged by Candy. Zone's going in neutral. Woe was just 1 penalty point off of being out of their penalty points, but Candy's Booyah Bomb simply just says no to all of that. And look at Candy! They are moving it right into Woe's spawn before jumping back into the safe graces of mid. And now Woe has control of Elbow again. Maya almost has the missiles ready to go here, targeting 2 members of Laniakea, which is now the herald for the push to come. Epic Face is moving in a sword duel, but they go down, I think, to Vanoct. The zone is still now back in the hands of Woe. There is now 1 minute left on the clock. The lead is definitely attainable, especially now that Woe is almost out of their penalty points. They're out of it. They need to move out of the 40 threshold into the 30s. Is it going to happen, Sasu? Yes, it will!
Yeah, 2 members down, so you see Woe being very careful about moving up here to make sure that they themselves don't get wiped. But now the pressure is on Laniakea because they know they have to rush zone. They get those 2 members down. Vanoct trying to chip people out. That Booyah comes out and they have to move up and paint over it. Vanoct trying to paint, and it's not going to be enough. Not enough paint from the other members. And, you know, I saw the Chump Booyah combo work time and time again, but I think unfortunately didn't have those specials online, and that is going to give this game to Woe in an upset.
Yeah, the upset has been achieved by Woe beating the 6th seed and moving on to round 2 in order to face seed number 2, Ham's Cheddar. But of course, we still gotta give both Woe and Laniakea their flowers here. This was a very well played set on both of their ends here. I think we've just been seeing some really, really consistent and solid gameplay from everyone here at SOS.
Yes, I agree. It was Woe indeed. Nice to see both of these teams with this high level of play here in Great White. And, you know, that's how it goes. It was a 2-1 for a while. I think Laniakea was able to hold on to that for a while, but, you know, it just slips through your fingers sometimes. And speaking of which, I think our block has kind of slipped through our fingers, because that's it for the Sawsticks duo, Frostix.
So it appears, and you won't be hearing from Sawsticks for the rest of this SOS, it seems. You will, however, be hearing from the wonderful Ellie and Samaporus for the rest of Great White Bracket. But before we fade into the ethereal dust, Sasu, we have some housekeeping to do. Where can the good people of Twitch and YouTube chat find you?
Well, of course, you can find me at Sasu in Your Pants on basically all social media, especially Blue Sky. That's at SASUIN, the letters UR, Pants. Yeah, even on Discord, just type in my name. If I have it, it'll pop up. And also, I have to do a little plug for Metro Inc. I think December 4th, if I'm not mistaken, there will be a big dapple. So anyone who is in the tri-state area or the metro area, come out to the LAN. But I've gone on long enough, Frostix. I'm sure you have some things to plug to let people know about.
Yeah, of course. You can find me at Twitter at TK_Frostix, at Blue Sky at frostix.bluesky.social. If you want to support some of my own personal work, you can read my web novel Gap Year on Wattpad. And like the video ad before, Bracket, Prism Break Metamorphosis is on Sunday. It's the return of Prism Break. You may hear a certain person there on Block 1. Anyways, I think we've kept Ellie and Sempers waiting a little too long, Sasu, so you will be hearing from them next set, but this has been Sawsticks signing out.
What?
Yeah, my problem is like because I'm streaming this shit. I don't know how to level my microphone, and it might be like really crusty, and I can't tell.
Oh.
You have to tell me. If it
I don't know.
sucks.
I just try to keep it on like low yellow in OBS, and it usually sounds okay.
Yeah, my thing is like I do all this from my laptop, so there's like a really loud fan in the background, so I have to like use a compressor, and then if it doesn't work,
Oh
then I sound,
yeah,
like, really,
true.
really
Because you're
crusty.
just streaming your mic audio
Yeah,
straight to OBS,
no,
and it
I
doesn't have
know.
the Discord compression.
No, I don't want fancy things. Okay.
Yeah.
I entered the room.
All right.
Okay. Alright, Sam, who are we watching?
Who are we watching? We're
Oh,
watching
wait. Yeah,
120 cap on Omen versus Peakaboo.
maybe I should. You know who Peekaboo is? I don't know these people.
I don't know who Peakaboo is.
No, Grace, I know we're live. Hi guys, welcome to SOS. Here. Okay. Now I can do PvP. Alright. Good morning. Teams. What's on the consent?
Oh, are we actually live?
Yeah, no, we've been
I
live.
thought you were joking.
No, I've never lied in my life.
Oh my god. Okay, that's great. Okay, guys, we're watching 120 cap on Omen versus Peakaboo here. I don't know what to say because Ellie threw me so off guard that now I'm in shock.
Yeah, we're in our quarterfinals here with some super strong teams. I don't know a thing about Peekaboo, I can't lie. I recognize the name Duck from somewhere. I think they might have whipped me when I was still a player. But, you know, I think 120 Kaplan Omen is a frequent flyer of this tournament. Always in, you know, give or take this match. But they make it to finals, so. Am I quiet? Oh my god, I need to sit up. Hello?
No, you sound fine, Elliot. It's okay. You sound fine.
No, Grace just said, really quiet for show.
Oh no.
Oh, I need to change the comment.
Elliot. Well, I think we all sound beautiful here tonight. I love Sasu and Frostix on comms.
True.
They were great.
Hey guys,
Wonderful
Frostix.
guys. And I've definitely seen Cap on Omen around a lot, especially Goji. I see in a lot of tournaments. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever even had the chance to actually stream Goji, which is hilarious enough. But I see their name everywhere.
I guess so. I don't know, from my memory at least, because like, I don't really cast or stream this tournament. I'm only here when they're broke and needy. So last time I was here for casts, I ended up streaming them in Great White as well. So, you know, I'm familiar with them, and it's nice to see them back. And, you know, I've seen firsthand how strong they are, so I'm interested in seeing how this team that I don't know much about fares up with them.
Yeah, I definitely seen Duck around too. I think I saw him playing with Caffey one time. Oh, let's see how we go here. We're opening up on Shipshape Cargo on Tower, I believe it was. I missed it.
I think it's zones and then tower. Like,
Oh, zone. You're right. It always starts on zones. I forgot how
Not my
SOS works.
streamer.
Opening up here, very quick opening into this match. We see Peekaboo pushing up. So actually, both of them pushing up super fast into these zones.
Yeah, look at that composition on hold on, that was wrong. On the other team, on the Peekaboo, they have 2 sliders in that dread. That's gonna be a pain in the IPL to deal with.
A pain in the IPL will shoot me if I say that word. But that is going, yeah, it's going to be absolutely terrible for Omen to deal with, especially now we're seeing it in action immediately, getting a pick with that reef slider as they immediately cap the zone afterwards. They're pushing up pretty far up to their hut here. I forgot to call out.
Like my FTI eligible commentator dog. Like,
Look at my junior draft eligible commentator. We don't talk about it.
not, that's not right. So this double sliders, like, you know, you see in action, they keep the zone in their control whenever they want. Like, if they want that zone, they get it. But it doesn't have, like, very much staying power, so even though they had that first wipe onto 120 cap on Omen, like, they kind of fold immediately. They got it right back, and I feel like that might be a competition with them. So,
This is true. Seeing Omen push up back immediately. We're watching the Cavitator here chasing after and then immediately get taken up by the reef slider again as we were just talking about it. So I mean we say it might not be the best for him, but I feel like if they keep pushing him around in circles and they can just round their way back into the zone again, especially with 2, and you can offset the sliders. They might have a good thing going here.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's a bad call, and I think it definitely will, like, has a chance to work. It's just, it's got, like, you know, weaknesses that could be exploited. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because they're playing the competition just fine. Like, they have to shoot them dead, and it's, you know, it's working. As long as they keep them dead, it's all just fine.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a ramen zone, so it's not insta-cap. You still have to paint a little bit, and if you can't cap that little bit afterwards, then it could be bad. I've definitely seen some bad losses on this map from a failure to reef slide properly. We're seeing over here the blaster get pushed into a corner, popping that panic booyah, but not really getting much out of it, it looked like.
Yeah, I mean,
Nah, they still have that zone. They're getting into the 20s here, low 20s. They might have this in the bag if this Inkzuka doesn't get some good picks, but it doesn't matter. The reef slider comes right back out.
yeah, they still do get a few more points before they inevitably lose the zone here. That could have been disastrous if that car blew them all up, but I don't know. You don't want to be, like, down in points to a double slider team, especially. Like, they can just end the game immediately whenever they feel like it, so I don't know, tough spot for 120 Cap and Omen, especially to lose the zone again. Like, where did he come from?
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really matter how long they have the zone if you're just going to be involved in a car accident immediately afterwards.
Yeah,
And, you know, you're just getting penalty points on top of penalty points. Even if they push through the penalty points, they're not really breaking through them again after they cap the zone. They just keep getting more stacked on, while Peakaboo here keeps getting to work through the penalty points that they get.
yeah, they can just keep reapplying that penalty over and over, so they're gonna basically spawn camp them, keep those sliders dead, make sure they can't farm up that special if they want to get a meaningful hold. I mean, it's starting to go pretty good here. That apple does still have the slider, so Baby Ben's can go stab them. That'd be super nice for them.
They're pushing up really hard here, but we have a head it in mid still for some reason. Taken out. I don't know how they were still up there, but now it looks like Omen has a really good cap on the zone here.
Sure.
If they don't get sniped out by the wiper, and it seems like Peakaboo is really good at playing Peakaboo.
Alright, so, you know, they're about to lose the lead here. They got the slider, they got the hammer. I mean, oh, it doesn't go onto the zone though. Hold on, they could get the lead right back from this.
Oh, yeah, there's that lead swap we were just talking about. We see Benz take one out, the wiper immediately after him, but they're coming up on that pencil here. Let's see if they can push him out and get this zone capped. Then they just have to work through those penalty points, which I think is very possible with the sliders. But now that we're below 10 points for Omen, I think this is a good clutch. Let's see.
Okay.
No, my god, never mind. They have zone again.
That's a hard lead to beat. Like, we were concerned about them being able to catch up when they could pop that slider whenever and just reapply penalty, but 2 is about as good as it gets besides just winning the game, and now, you know, it's up to a team that I think doesn't have the greatest staying power to stay. With 15 seconds left, you know, they can't afford to just lose the zone anymore.
Yeah, they I mean, this Booyah is going to have to do some really heavy lifting here, especially when they don't have, by 2 to 3.
Oh, it might be cooked.
Yeah, this is locked. They
That's
have this
cruel.
down. And they get a knockout on the last second. Masterful gambit, Peakaboo. I mean, the name says it all. They were really good at playing Peakaboo this whole time.
I mean, it doesn't get closer than that. Down to, like, 2 to 3, it gets contested right there, right before they get the lead. And then it goes their favor. That's cruel and evil. What's the next map? Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
I mean, cruel and evil as it was, I don't think it gets much more entertaining than that.
No,
Points that close at the very end of the match is very exciting.
Like, I'm seated. I have some biases here, but you know, like, as a spectator, that's good cinema right there. We're not gonna. Okay, my question is what they're going to adapt to, because we're going into this map. Hold on, what's the third one? We're going to Clam's Museum, which the double slider is like... I don't know.
I don't know how much of a use double slider has here, to be honest.
I'm not sure.
I see a lot of Krakens run here.
Really?
I like seeing Krakens run here. I'm a Kraken fan myself. I love the comments on Octobrush.
I don't know. I feel like Kraken is nice for those maps that are like, well, like close quarters, and you can like catch up to them, but it's so open, you just walk away, and then it's fine.
I feel like I see Krakens here only for the basket area. Because the basket area, you're kind of on top of each other around that spinner. as long as you're like in between the spinner grates itself, you're kind of on top of each other. So I see cracking here a lot. I think it's just for that area.
I suppose. What changed on 120? Did they change?
But we're still running the double reach slider.
Okay. You know,
We're still running it.
I mean, it's a decent special. Like, if you just blow them up, they can't play the game and do anything about it. So just win your fights. And I mean,
This
it's
is
working.
true.
You see Doormat
This
just
is
shot
true.
them dead. I don't know. Could be working.
Well, I want to see how this tent carries them up through this basket area mainly, especially like I was saying, how you're kind of on top of each other around the spinner. I want to see how they're able to maneuver it up to the basket and maybe push a couple balls in here.
I mean, it's just
As
wide
they're
open.
already
They walk
going.
right
They're
in.
already going. You just walk in.
I'm messing. I don't know what happened here. I guess they were all just stuck fighting in mid that they didn't notice the guy walk up with the ball and throw it right in the basket.
I mean, honestly, masterful game.
Okay.
But we see here this Wiper getting some picks up in the basket area too. We have this bucket trying to get him over the ledge, but missing, getting some chip damage down. But Panic Booyah canceled. We have some jumps in. We're all the way down to 59. That's a beautiful opening push. That's exactly what you want to see.
Alright, so it's not like the kind of points that you'd want to feed for. Like, Japan jumped into one clam and threw it in. Like, not a big clam, just a regular little thing, and got 3 points off it. So, hopefully they don't stagger off of this and they manage to get their footing back in the mid. Like, they're seceding a lot of space to them for very little value. So, let's see if they manage to bounce back. I mean, it's working.
I agree, yeah. Like, you want to break 60 for that first push, especially, that's kind of a safe first push to have, just because it takes 2 balls to break that. You are a
Personal.
child.
What?
Um,
I had $1 for every
you
time
want,
on
yeah,
SLS.
it takes 2 balls to break the 60. So you want to see that first push, but they gave up all of mid just to get there, and I don't think it's worth it. But it is worth it in the end when you're able to just take it all back.
I think so. Like, the difficulty with that was just, if they didn't bounce back, they died so many times for little value, and we couldn't get back in, then that'd be scary, but, you know, it's going just fine. Like, even though they took, in my opinion, something that was inopportune, they're right here. How is the Viper behind the heads?
This headed confuses me a little bit, because I kind of just see them walking around on their own, frontline headed, I guess. And you know what? If it works for you, that's great. I support it. But it's definitely confusing. But I like to see how they're moving up into this basket area again. They're kind of all staying 2 and 2, somewhat, and they're just, when one goes down, another one's right behind them to back them up.
No, I definitely like the heads positioning, them playing more forward and aggressively into, like, the Viper and the S-Blast that, you know, don't exactly love such a fast firing up in their face. It's just, like, it's to the Viper's credit, how they managed to get behind the thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like it was something like they dropped down and the Wiper was on the left or right side of the map, and we're just walking up and taking it again.
Yeah, I mean, not a huge amount of clams on 120's side, but they're in a pretty decent spot here. Like, no one's even on the ground yet for Peakaboo. Oh my god, the color's wrong. Yo, call me out on this.
Oh my.
Yeah, so they weren't able to select the clams fully and hold for very long, but 35, especially on the museum, is a pretty steep push. Like, this is a place at which I'd be feeling pretty safe, especially with a minute and a half left in the match. Like, I'd be feeling pretty good about it.
I mean, it's a really great push when I'm used to seeing museum clams go into the 5-minute overtime. So I'll take what victories we can get here. But let's see if Peakaboo can even push out back into mid from this. I'd like to see them get at least one push up to the basket.
Yeah, I want to point out, like, they basically wiped for that push, but they're still on the plat. Like, something just fell over. So I don't know. Like, what does Peakaboo have to do here to get back in? It feels like, even though, in my opinion, Omen's doing something's wrong, it's not being capitalized on, and they're still managing to keep this advantage.
I mean, we have this Dread who managed to get away from everything, but they ended up getting taken down in the end. I feel like if this Dapples is able to sneak away a little bit,
okay.
Yeah, if this Dapples is able to sneak away a little bit, we might be able to do something, but not when the entirety of Omen is still just sitting at our spinner.
Like, I'm not sure they've left their base this whole game. Like, one clan. Alright, son, you got this. Alright, how am I go?
Nah, my god is washed, man. Okay, maybe on this one clam left, we might see a push from Peekaboo
Alright.
here. Let's see if they're gonna use the
I
omen
believe in the
strategy
comeback.
and just
They've
walk
got 2
right in.
goals. It's possible.
I mean, I think we can see 2 cinema matches in a row. I feel like that'd be awesome.
You know, if we manage to lose this hold, personally, I might be retiring or asking for limit eligibility. So we'll see what Omen does here for the defense. I mean, it's looking pretty good. They already 2 people down onto the side of Peekaboo, so it might be wraps. Yeah, that's the last one. And
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
on
that,
camera?
oh, dirty.
with the guy still next to you? Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, well,
That was dirty.
that's just disrespectful. Yeah,
I mean, you always gotta catch it on camera, right?
that's
I feel like every single time it's been something like that, I always catch them on camera.
You know, we don't have to acknowledge it. It's okay. I think they earned it. They put on an especially dominant showing for that second match, so we'll let it slide. Now
They did.
Okay.
Seeing a dominant, like, pushing like that on clams is hard to do. Everyone hates clams.
I don't know, they just like
Not me. I love clams.
you're a brush
but-
player, I don't hear it.
Well, of course.
Ew. Yeah, so the format of SOS now being double zones, I don't know if this is a every week thing or if it's just a this week thing. I don't keep up with this. But, you know, we remember what Peekaboo is going to be bringing out for this, and I don't know, what does Omen do to counter that thing? Like, it's not like they lost horribly in the first round. Like, that was close. Like, that was super close. It could have gone to anyone. Like, one more, like, drop of Inkling on the zone and, you know, it could have been theirs. But what's an adaptation that you can do to be a little bit safer against this comp that is kind of gross?
It's exactly. What do you do against 2
I want
reef
backside.
sliders on a zone, right?
Back 10. Back 10, please. Please. I can't tell. Is that?
Let's
I
see.
think it's secret though.
It looks like Inkline.
Is it Inkling 10?
It is Inkline 10.
What does that have? Oh,
That is Zuka.
you're a liar. Alright. No changes on either side.
Or whatever the one is. It's the second kid.
I think it's Zero. It's Zero. We play this game.
Not very often. I just stream it.
Alright, so no changes on either side. I'm wondering how this will go. There's a flank. Who's that? The edit? Yeah.
Okay, this
It's
is
working.
exactly this
Oh my God.
frontline edit. Oh my god! Okay, 2 picks from our frontline edit flanking over here. Just walking them straight up into their base. I mean, it's a beautiful opening from Peekaboo.
Wait, I kind of like that. And it's just working. They gotta like walk right in uninterrupted. They're still going. Hold on. Get Sniper too? No. Okay. That's a good streak though.
That would have been beautiful. Wow. What a start from Peekaboo. Just having the head it walk the entire team up the zone and straight up to their ramps. Where do you even see that ever?
God, I don't know. I don't see this like unfolding the same way that Shifty does. Like, there's so many more places to hide, and the slider can get stuck on, so it won't blow you up as well. So I'm wondering how effective these sliders will be at taking the fights needed, you know, to keep them dead, keep them out, and no, not looking good so far. They've already taken the lead back. They're in pretty good control of their court, whatever this thing's called. So
Not if the slider has anything to say about it, but not for very long though. It only had a little whisper to say about it. But we have the second one coming in right behind him, getting 2, immediately taken out by the pencil. They got the zone, but I don't think for long with this bomb coming out.
fast cross sticks, I'd say a second slider has hit the zone. So you know they put it neutral, but it's not like none of it is ever sustained holds. Like they get the zone back, sure they apply penalty, but they have to be in the lead for that. No?
I'm not sure, honestly. I've never paid that much attention.
No, I mean like for it to be effective, for them to continue.
Oh,
stalling
it was a rhetorical no. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long day at work, Ellie, and now I'm here to put in a long day in the Splatoon mines too. I like watching reef sliders blow up on zones, but I don't think there's not much you can do with the reef slider on this map, like you were saying, other than directly on the zone. Like these booyahs will get a lot more use here than the sliders will, I feel like.
I think so. They both have like their benefits here. Now they do take the lead back, so they are in prime position for throwing the car at the zone, and you know, they have one ready, they're gonna have another one soon, as always, so we'll see how they manage to hold this. Like, I don't know, it's a very hard fight to break out of versus this team.
I mean, especially when you have them held up right on their ramp. Let's see, we have this Wiper coming out with the hammer. Let's see if they'll wrap it around, maybe cap the zone for him. We're gonna throw it over, get a pick with the throw. Assist on the zone. Let's see, can they fight off this Dread out of the zone here?
Yeah, I mean, they're on a kind of a crazy kill streak right now. They're putting in all the work needed to get Omen right back into the zone. So, you know, control's theirs. We'll see how long it really stays. Like, they have to break through this penalty, but in reality, it might not be 30. It might be a hell of a lot more considering the cars.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone loves to see the Slayer plays. That's where all the action is on a Splatoon match, but it's definitely not unnoticed how much they can do for just walking their team straight into somewhere. You get two good picks and you can
Oh
just...
my god.
But it doesn't matter when you have a slider again.
Alright. Barely keeping the lead. You know, 2 points differential again. So, you know, we'll see where this goes. I don't know.
This is a very interesting match to watch. It's just going, like, the most aggressively back and forth I think you could ever see. There's barely ever any neutral time. It's like Peekaboo's at Omen's ramps, and then Omen's at Peekaboo's ramps. There's no in-between time. We're just running all the way up each time.
I mean, I think that's a good thing, but, you know, coming into the final section of this game, like, they're gonna have to do something pretty explosive themselves, and, I mean, 3 down is gonna do it for them, so they barely managed to get the zone back. I hope it's not like the first game, though. Like, they have to push this down to 0 this time, not 2. 2 apparently isn't enough. They have to see that game take come up for this game to be safely theirs.
I mean, you think you get a below 10 and you have the game on lock, but yeah, we got that proved game 1.
Yo,
we had a 2-0. We got a home pencil holding strong on the zone. Wiper trying to get a pick from him, throwing the hammer. Ooh, get the pencil with the hammer. Let's see if they can get this 10 out of the way here, too. We get the blaster down. Okay, it's not looking good.
Yeah,
you're
10
right.
seconds is... That's a tall ask. I think it might be GG's. Sunny Ketero lock in.
It might be. But we still got 6 seconds. Anything can happen in 6 seconds, Ellie.
Just for security, one more slider on the zone to bring that set for a 2-1 win over to Peekaboo. God, man.
It was comedy. It was cinema. I feel like I just watched a 2-hour movie.
This is
I had the highs and lows of high school football all in one match.
Dude, this is the kind of competition I start posting on my private Twitter. That must have been an experience to play against. But, I mean, it works, and it works damn well bringing Peekaboo into the semifinals of SOS. So, we're gonna move up to the upper side of the bracket, which means it's your turn to talk. Oh, what's going on?
Now it's time to actually go into the things called finals. This is technically a quarterfinals, but Sendo doesn't call it that.
I do. I'm typing
Let's
stuff
see,
out.
who do we have next?
We got Usagi Fanclub and is it a Boar? I have like
Boar season. Boar season.
Oh my god, where are you? Is it best 5? Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Wait, no. I lied. Sorry.
This is the same person who said they never lie in their life.
I never. Alright, there we go. Usagi Fan Club. Oh, that's people. Okay. It's gonna be a good set. I don't know anyone in Boar season, do you? Like, you stream paddling and
I
things like
don't.
that.
I've never seen anyone in Boar season.
Alright, who we got? I clicked on their profiles and I clicked the team that they're on, and I don't know anyone on this. Who? Commander and Cut. Tio's in chat saying, I'm glad I'm not the only one that doesn't know. I don't. I'm sorry. Aaron Starburst?
What is going on here? we have a team no one's ever seen, players no one's seen. Somehow one of them's on Starburst.
That's Ant. Okay, I see. Okay, no, okay, look, in my defense, it says diorite. Like, I wasn't meant to know this. Okay, no. This
Listen,
makes sense.
I posted this in Sendo feedback. I was like, please just show players in-game names in the game chats. I don't know who the hell, like, no... They'll be named something so so ridiculous in game, and it does not match their profile name at all. And I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Every 30 days, there's a whole new identity for one of these top players, and I can't keep up. Not bad. But, I mean, and it's kind of like stupid good. Like, this guy rocks my IPL frequently at X rank, and it's, you know, it's humbling. I have to close the game after that. So, we'll see what they bring to the table here versus Usagi Fanclub, who's also, like, pretty damn good.
Yeah, Usagi Fan Club a really good pickup here. I like seeing TJ and Goose play a lot.
Yeah, I recognize the two names. I don't actually know very much about them. I saw something about Goose not wanting to play Tent anymore. Is Goose still playing Tent? I like Tent.
TJ is their cooler bot here,
Yeah.
I think.
I think so. Because I know that Ryu is like a short shooter player.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Leaf.
So
what
we're gonna
used to be
see
the
pencil.
sword.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see a lot of pencils here.
Okay, so like pen, splash, and like Tent, maybe sword. That's solid. I think that'd be fun to
Oh,
watch.
we're almost going back to
Yeah.
when pencil first hit the meta.
Well, I mean, this is also
That-
the comp we just watched like last game. If you switch the sniper for that
I did.
sword, and if you
You know,
pretend,
minus the double reef slider on Peakaboo.
Okay, well, I think we've had 3 games of that, and I think that's enough of that. I think we can move on to something else. Like, I know that Ant plays the 96, but beyond that, I got nothing. Rayu and Leaf are rising stars. I don't think they're rising. They've been up here. Like, this is not the first time they've been great,
Yeah.
let alone semis. Like, in my mind, I still think of them on, like, FPS, being in, like, Div 5 playoffs, but it's been a minute. They're way better than I could be, you know, so.
I mean, when I click on your Sendo profile and you're badge farming, but it's all top level events badge farming, there might be something to say there.
I don't have any top level badges. What? I got like a Div 6 tournament. I got SAC because it's my show. I got LSL. Like all my badges are like Div 5 cap. Like 4 of these are like
I have
earned.
the Patreon badge and the Under Pressure one because you gave it to me.
I'll give you the junior chef one.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Thank you.
This site's really bad. It's not loading. Why is this deadass live? Question mark.
What did he mean by this?
Oh.
I don't know what he meant by this. So the plan here was that we actually had really good casters on block 1, and then we put the 2 streamers on block 2, and we said we're just gonna do whatever, but it's gonna be funny.
Yo, I fear I can't get into the match chat because the site's dying. Help me.
Oh no.
Oh, they've been sending invites, and their username is just different, and I'm stupid.
See, this is what I'm saying. You should show the in-game name that they have to set on their Sendo profile in the Sendo match chat, because your name will be like Burger. But then on Splatoon, you have like some Japanese characters. I don't know who you are. This is foul. This is so foul.
Alright, we're in the lobby. We're gonna start playing the game now. 90 seconds on the clock, seeing what they're gonna lock in. I mean, we have... Here, Sam, look at these names. We're gonna have a terrible time.
Oh my... How do you even say that? Okay, I mean, I know the Japanese one is Nani. I know that one.
Alright, we're calling the weapon
The rest
name.
of it? $. This is really good stuff. This is really good stuff here. Curse of pickup name.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think... I don't know, there won't be any like repeat weapons in the lobby. Like, everyone's playing some quirk thing. I think it's just Leaf on the sword. I'd be shocked to see more than one 10 player in the lobby. I'm surprised to see one back-to-back sets anyways, so...
I'm surprised to see a 10
Why they're-
up at this
hold on.
point
We
to
saw it.
begin with.
Bro, whole ass
If we saw
fucking
Zuka 10 like you were asking for that match, that would be even funnier.
What if I do this fire alarm?
Is your fire alarms going off?
Not mine, but there's a light siren right outside my room.
Certified city living over here.
I love it here. Alright. Let's talk about Splatoon. And not the fire next thing. You wanna do prediction?
I think we should run predictions, especially after what happened last time. I would have loved to bet on that one.
I would have lost, so I'm glad we didn't bet. Alright, starting the video game. Okay.
It's time to play the video game.
Awesome. Alright, Usagi Fanclub
Coming
versus
in
Boar
here.
Season. I mean, Boar Season coming in as our 45th seed. What a huge upset it took for them to get here. And, you know, let's go. Is that Ainova? Wait, this is fire.
Wait, we have A Nova and Custom Blaster.
Yes, okay, Custom Blaster's the
And
normal
third
pick.
kit Paintbrush. Okay, you know, we got some wacky stuff here, and I really love it because I love seeing stuff that's just, first of all, different. And I think we can really do some cooking with the A Nova. First of all, you see him popping this jet. Let's see if they get anything with it.
Yeah, there's 2 sneaks, and it's not the Sea Blaster. This is a standard thing. It's working, taking down 2 people already, moving right up. So, you know, when I look at these compositions, I'm not going, oh, what, a Sea Blaster? I'm looking at this A-Nova, like, Inkjet, you know, used to be the thing. Not so much anymore. I mean, if you aim good... Oh boy.
I mean, it was a thing for like two patches, and then it was no longer the thing. Rest in peace. I still love the Inkjet. I'm the weirdo who plays Vanilla Slosher over Try, but you know, we see it coming out here. I love Nova playing the A Nova, just trying to get a little bit of control over these zones to help their team push up here. We get one of the zones. Let's see if we can cap the other without getting taken down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Inkjet's not bad at all. Like, it can definitely still work. It's just not nearly as easy as before, but, you know, a team that we might have, you know, put the bed on and misseeded them, I think they can definitely pull it off.
Absolutely. And you know, I think both teams here have a really good shot. I think this might be another cinema match that we have here. Especially if this Inkjet is able to push up this far and get a pick.
Yep.
We see him pushing all the way up onto the ramp, just holding in their base here.
You talk about that double ball stuff.
Stronghold on these zones, but they're pushing up fast. We have this Zimmy on the side getting this zone. See if they'll do anything else with it here. Tent helping them push up, but not really getting too far.
That, how we saw, sorry, I was gonna point out, like, they said, I hate this tent specifically. They dropped 2 walls covering the entire, like, width of the choke, so that any tent you drop would just, like, get shredded immediately. It was so stupid. I love it.
I mean, maybe they're trying to prove a point here. I don't know.
I mean, personally, I try to spike the tent as well.
I mean, if I was stuck on a weapon that I hated, I would probably be doing some not so smart choices. I think when you're in a negative mindset like that about something, it definitely does not help how you play. And we're done, just like that.
I mean, like, there wasn't so much contention. Like, the start went over to Usagi Fanclub, but then they didn't really, like, manage to hold it. Like, they each had their one hold, and this one happened to be for 100 points, so... just like that. Game's over.
Yeah, you know, they had it, like, pretty strong in the beginning there for a little bit, but then it was like 2 went down, and then they just had the match the whole point from there.
Yeah, I guess they're just having a really hard time getting back in, and I mean, can't really blame them. These are good players on this team, on both sides, but especially
I mean, when you have everyone staring right, like, barrel pointed down your ramp, where do you go?
You go to... Hold on, I'm trying to find it. You go to Clan Blitz on Scorch Gorge, our next map. Incredible.
Wow!
I'm so sorry.
This is another one. I feel like that's just you all sit in one hallway, but you can definitely have some fun pushes here. I think the tent might be able to do something if they don't hate it so much still.
Did they say that they hit it?
I don't know.
Really?
They were the ones saying they didn't want to play it. Yeah.
I don't know. I I don't know them personally. I just something I might have saw. It might have been in like one of the other tent plays. Like, I don't think I've seen a single tent player be like, I want to play a tent in the big 2025. Like, it's got matchups that people don't love. So.
Well, there's 2 genres of 10 players, right? There's I'm going on this because I have to, because my team told me to, And then there's, I love this tent, I will play nothing but this tent, and my team will work around my tent.
There's such a thing as people saying, like, like I feel like the tents to like let me build around. No, not the other way around.
I've seen both.
Really? Like, tent jail's not... like, you hear cooler jail, and you hear, like, shooter jail. Tent jail? That's a new one. I don't think so. Regardless,
I mean, there's people who are picky about what they play. Like, I'm very, like, I can only play fast stuff. I hate anything slow. I start crying. If it's slower than, like, an Octobrush, I'm like, I can't play this weapon. But looks like the same comps going into here. Yeah, exact same comps, both sides. No, the paintbrush is a different kit of the paintbrush. We're on the missiles paintbrush.
That's kind of real, though, on a map like this. I feel like this is super strong here.
It definitely is, with how you group up on this map, I feel like.
Oh, the paintbrush immediately jumping over getting the mini, which is a pretty nice pick for them, taking away like 99% of the paint, so...
It definitely is. Let's see. I want to see him push up a little bit more here. I don't know if they'll be able to with that pencil just staring him down. And yeah, it looks like they pulled back a little bit more. We have the tent pushing up. Immediately back out though. Looks like they were getting surrounded by ink.
Sorry, I keep throwing the mic feed like in the worst possible ways. It's like trying to spectate the top is kind of hard. I can't lie. They're in a pretty good place right now though. Like having a lot of specials ready and having a 2-down advantage. They have the plans like give or take to make a ball here, so this could be their first push for
I would say it would. I feel like that gal going down is really bad for them though. Especially now. Yeah, the paintbrush down too. I don't think they can get back up with this, not until the team's back up and they can regroup. But since you have Usagi Fanclub pushing back down into mid, it's going to be a little bit harder to get back up into that basket area.
Yeah, right now just in a bit of a neutral game. Like, see specials coming out with Kazuka, not able to find any picks. The gal behind, though, taking them all down, with the help of the Inkjet, though, he's definitely going to swing things in the favor of Boar Season, putting them right back up in the basket. And having 2 balls here is going to give them a pretty steep first push, especially with more times to follow.
Yeah, it's going to get them right at that 60 that I was talking about in the last set that we had on stream. And yeah, here we go. We broke the 60, and that's really exactly what you want to see from a first push here. You see him hanging around this basket area, collecting more clams. But we have Usagi Fanclub pushing him out a little bit now.
Yeah, I mean, they wisely chose to back up, but it didn't matter because the gal dropped right down in the mid, taking one of them down. Something happened there. I mean, it's so hard to keep track of these players. Like, they're just running around, and they're somehow back at the... Oh my god. They had the microwave set up.
How do they even get back up there like that? I feel the gal just goes wherever it feels like, and then the team just spawns in around them. You don't even see them move. It's just all of a sudden you have 3 players all in one spot, and wow, there's a basket. There's a clam in the basket.
Yeah, but I mean, oh okay. I was about to say like they are all the way up at their basket too, but there's always a member of War Season behind them, so it's so hard for them to stay coordinated when their attention's being split between these 2 prongs.
I feel like both of these teams are just spreading themselves really thin across the map. Like, we just saw it on the last overhead shot. You just had 2 players from each team at each basket, just doing who knows what. But let's see if War Season can get the switch again. They got 2 balls at the ready, but we have Usagi Fanclub pushing back out into mid again, taking down this paintbrush and pushing these balls back to their basket.
Yeah, I mean, Usagi Fanclub finally getting a bit of a foothold in mid, starting to approach the enemy's ramp here, and with some pretty good resources, like the bubble is going to secure them lots of space, and if the Zukin can like connect, this could be start a pretty good push for them.
Yeah, this is definitely their first push going here, but I don't know if they'll be able to break that 60 like I was talking about, unless they can get another ball ready really fast.
Yeah, they can definitely cycle clams here, but if this gal manages to take you down, it could be pretty bad. I mean, yeah, at this point you gotta back out. 71, not the push you'd want to open with, but, you know, points on the board, points on the boards, can't really complain about that. That being said though, if they run right up to the basket, this is not what you want to do. Not where you want to be.
This is a very, very dangerous game for Usagi Season here, with the way that War Season is just able to walk these balls up into their basket and push his tent down into mid, like fully around the basket. Just really good distractions going on here. We got the last 2 clams going here. We're down by 1.
Oh my god, there we go.
And there we go.
I don't even know what to say, really. Like, they're such, like, this unstoppable force. You give them, like, an inch and they take a mile. They walk right up to your basket and just stay there. Like, every little mistake was, like, super capitalized on. And, they got, like, one shot at the basket, they just couldn't maintain it.
I think that gal was really critical to how they were able to run this match around, because that's the first person you would see up at that basket. You would see the gal do a little loop around, and then it would end up at the basket. Paintbrush would follow, and then boom, there's 2 clams in the basket, and we're rounding around clams, right, to get us down to 50 something, and then down to 30 something, and then to win.
Yeah, I think the gal was definitely super critical, to their win. They were playing super fast, way behind them, splitting their attention, and then, you either look at the guy and then the teammates in front of him kill you, or you look at the guy and then you lose the 1v1, like, the illusion of free choice, no matter what the guy's taking you down.
I mean, that gal, if it wasn't just getting a normal splat, it was pushing him off the edge of the map. It was applying so much pressure to Usagi Fanclub.
Sorry, I can't lie, I was reading Twitch chat and hear a word of what you said. Hi, Vic.
No, I was too. You're okay. They're asking who the Risk of Rain fan is.
Neither of us. K-Bot likes this soundtrack, and I pulled that from the depths of my playlist.
Man, I thought you were the fan because you're the one playing the music.
No, this is K-Bot's list. I just run it because, well, in his honor.
Run it because we must appease K-Bot.
No, it's like, he will be missed. You can almost still hear his voice, kind of deal. Alright, game 3. So, me personally, I'm like, no shade to Usagi Fanclub, it's looking kind of bad. I'm not sure that this will go their way, but this could be a pure cinema, the reverse sequel of all time, starting right here on Mahi's ends.
So, we traded out the paintbrush for the wiper deco.
That's real,
and it's certainly no, I think it's a good choice. Actually, I think for Mahi it's a good choice because you want the extra speed and you want to be able to wrap around and be able to get really quick splats, and I think you're going to be able to achieve that better with the wiper than the paintbrush.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Mahi lacks the verticality and the cover you'd want for weapons that's so lined up, and Viper being a nice side trade for them, so I like the pick.
Yeah, it's just the deco that's throwing me off, but I guess I like missiles, so, we run missiles. Beacons are also really helpful. Like, as much as nobody runs them, I love when I have a beacon player on my team.
I think beacon isn't ran because the weapons that Scott in his roster, unideal.
This is fair.
Wait, please. Yes! We had the splash roll. Yeah, I think beacons, especially with a gal that loves to be, in your walls, is going to be such a nice combination. If they manage to put the beacon in 2 places, then, the gal's definitely going to capitalize on it and be a nuisance.
Yeah, no, the way that their gal plays,
Ew.
like, beacons will be... Oh my god, 2 picks on this inkjet and cap in the zone. I love big inkjet plays. That was beautiful.
That was. They
Let's
dived
see
into
him
the
push
bubble.
up.
You think see the bubble, alright, time to back up and not die to whoever's in the thing. Nope, they dive right in, shoot them straight in the head, and I mean, that's a masterclass right there. So they're gonna be the ones to drop the water. And on Mahi, if you're the team in control while the water goes down, I feel like that puts you in a pretty good place.
Absolutely. Take a second, break one off to start painting around so you can get good control of the area around, because you're just gonna watch Usagi Fanclub start pouring in from the sides here. Almost pushed off in the water there, but they get taken out beforehand. They gave them some mercy, but they're gonna take control of the zone here. Have this pencil watching over, getting pushed down into the corner again, trying to push them off into the water. We're making them walk the plank.
Yeah, 46 isn't the steep push that one would imagine from being trolled, but definitely not anything to scoff at. That being said, that's probably going to flip over back to them, or at least pretty close to that in just a second here. But forcing them out into a retake now, starting with this inkjet to see if they can actually get any picks off of it.
Nothing from the inkjet, but maybe... No, they're pushing to the corner here. I think we have a pretty solid hold right now from Usagi Fanclub. Let's see if they can bring this back, but we get to pick off the pencil, and just ignore everything I just said. They get the zone again, and we're pushing up into their base. I saw one hop up in there. They're dropping a beacon. But we're going to hang around the zone here. We're going to hold steady. We're just gonna try to keep Usagi Fanclub away from the zone and push this all the way down to 0 if we can.
That pick on the S last is pretty big. I think they were close to their Booyah, so taking down their resources is gonna be super nice. And this might be the lead flip again. Like you said though, Zimmy keeps out like a bajillion paint, and they got the bubble set up on their snipe, so they're in prime position to cap the zone back. So they're gonna need to do something to deal with it, but they do need. Okay, I was gonna say they do need help from the teammates to cap the zone, but I lied, and they just get it right back. How?
Clearly not. But they only had 2 people fighting against them, and it didn't look like it was 2 people who had put out much paint. So not like they had much of a fight to put up on the zone there, so they were able to take it. But now we have zone back again. Well, let's see. I want to see this Zimmy push back up. Maybe they're not too close to bubble right now, so it might not be too feasible. But we also have this Wiper up, just hanging out in their space. Just being a nuisance, but that's exactly what you want to see from the Wiper too. Just being annoying, distracting them, keeping them away from your spots.
Oh no! All right, it's wraps. Take on the Zimmy there was absolutely beautiful. Taking down the best painter to ever do it, securing them that zone and closing that set for 4 seasons, bringing them into the winners finals, or I guess just the finals.
Clean 3-0 from our seed 45.
Strong upset coming out from these up-and-coming players.
New up-and-coming Splatoon players doing a beautiful job in gray-white bracket going on to our finals.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic first tournament from them. Like, it's not over yet. They, on their first run, they could be taking the crown here for SOS 202. This could be a monumentous victory for these brand new players.
But next up, we're going straight into Board Season again versus Whoa from earlier.
Oh, really?
We saw them on our round 1, but now they're back.
Oh, they beat Peakaboo, the double slider team, 3-0 as well. So,
Peakaboo lost at Peakaboo.
Yeah, that was it.
But I'm excited to see what they're running here.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to talk. I'm setting up the stream.
Okay, I'm excited to see what they're running here. I hope we see some more funky comps. I'm gonna be honest, I did not pay that much attention to what they were running on round 1 because I was trying to fix something on my computer. But
on Boar Season?
No, on Whoa. I expect to see funky comps on Boar Season. Just by going what we saw the last 2 with the paintbrushes into the Wiper Deco, I definitely expect to see some funky stuff there.
I think Whoa was.
But on Whoa,
Junior Stamper?
A junior?
Yes, because I know 2D / Epic Face is Stamper, T-Master, TM Forester, whatever, you get it.
Oh, you're
junior.
right. They
Mine
do.
was,
They
oh,
do
yeah,
play
mine
junior.
Mine was the Frozen Pro, and then was X the pencil. Okay.
They do. Maya also plays pencil notably, but I think Zex is going to be our dedicated backline here.
Oh,
Maya is more of a flex. They also play Splash and what was that? Bucket? Yeah, Bucket and S-Blast. So they're definitely more of a flex here.
Guess so. I mean, find a support player that doesn't play pencil, so see who does it best. I mean, I think Boar Season's just a wild card. Like, realistically, they're above the SOS level, kind of like Duct Motif Core, where they can just run in and do some freaky things. So I think all their weapons are kind of like up in the air to see what they choose to do.
Yeah.
Just trying to have a good time. It's a grand
I'm excited to see. They're probably going to run something similar to what we saw last match for sure. I think the paintbrush will be coming back, especially for the zones here. Especially, on ship shape, I think we'll see the paintbrush again, especially with the overhang over the zone.
Oh, it's Team Master? My fault. I guessed both, and my first guess is better. Sorry.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, the 4 is the A. I see it now. I mean, Splatoon player names are really something beautiful.
It's creative, but I'd do 4 takes to be able to read it properly. So maybe I'm just stupid, but
maybe it's been a long day.
it's not been a long day.
We're ending our night with a wonderful SOS.
Real. Now for our last set here, ship shape zones, we had some unideal memories on it a few sets ago. We'll see what they managed to bring out this time. I want to see the crab sword come out from the face. I like Mist on this map a lot. I don't think they will because they're like I played Zendikee with this guy like semi recently. They were like super good on the V sword, so I think they're gonna stick it. But me personally, I'd want to see the crab sword. I think Mist is cool, and crab obviously very nice to hold on sounds.
I think crab is good on this map as well. It's got a lot of nice little blocks to sit on, if not just hanging over the zone.
Yeah, I kind of hate it on the retake, but it's nice as on the lockout. Like obviously sitting on spot mid super nice. Like by the left side where the grates are also super good. On that box, like in the middle of their, like their court, whatever. Super good. Lots of prime spots for the lockout, but on the retake, it does feel a little bit claustrophobic, I gotta say. I just like Mist too, and they're a good sword player.
Definitely does. It definitely does. Mist on the zone, I agree, is great here. Especially when you have everyone collapsing into one spot. I feel like every time I get caught in a mist, I explode. Especially if I'm near whoever threw it.
I think it's fair.
That might just be a skill issue on my end, though.
That junior draft eligibility, I started jokes on a little funny. Is gonna have to agree there. Alright, finally getting
like I said, I don't play this game. I join a pickup for a stupid reason, and then I don't play again for like 3 months. I like spec camming. I like watching the streams. Sometimes I go play a LAN.
Oh yeah, were you at SoCal the other day?
I was at SoCali, but I was just volunteering. I wasn't playing.
Oh, I thought you were playing. Damn. You go all that way just to do their work for them. I respect it, but
It's not all that way. It's only like an hour from me.
That's an amount. It's like
it's not that much. It's not that much.
Well, I guess
I've driven further for less.
Fair. Like over here, like you don't really drive at all. Like, everything is just close, accessible by bus or train. So an hour seems like a pain for me. But maybe we should...
I mean, it's closer to me than Calturna is, so I like it better.
You have 2 California ones?
Yes, but Calturna's like a lot smaller. Like SoCali's the big one, and then Calturna gets like 8 teams.
Wait, so why is there 2? Is it's 2 different managements, or?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. All right, 30 seconds before we get into our first game here. Everyone's finally in the room, so we can shut up soon.
We can keep talking about California lands while we're still waiting for the next 30 seconds.
Oh,
like there's a lot of overlap between them, because it's Pickles who runs Calturna, but then he's also like the AV staff for SoCali.
They have dedicated staff for that? Oh my god, I'm slacking. My land is like open butt.
It's only because this guy has like 30 Switch docks.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense.
He's got like cables on cables on cables. He also runs a Mario Kart land nearby, but finally getting into the match here. Zones on ship shape. Our first finals match.
Yo, this is taking suspiciously long to load.
Nervous.
Yo. I'm gonna blame the gal for this one. We saw the tricks that they were pulling earlier.
Oh. Oh no.
Alright, there we go. Move it along.
Okay, we're getting in though. We'll see where we go from here.
Is it to go? What the? Oh, okay.
Nozzle nose. Alright, there it goes though. But we saw
this is a sleeper pick though. You see that?
Loki slept on disconnect pick. I mean, it's a lot of screws.
In the 4 seconds that they were like in the room, I think they were on Gal, no? So they brought out the Gal and then the Junior.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that change. I feel like the Pro like wasn't aggressing super much in the first set that we watched of them. So I think this is a nice change and might help them a little bit more, especially against a team that's like running it down like this. Vidal Acer?
I mean, especially with the Gal they're going up against.
Yeah. I mean, you need just all the help you can get to take that thing down.
But can we talk about the H3 on the side of War Season?
I kind of like it.
Are we going to address them?
Address me. I don't know. Like, it's a good painter. It paints more than you'd think. It's a threatening midline if you're good into the sticks. So, I kind of like it. I can't lie.
Oh,
Oh,
hang on.
wait.
Reflux too? Wait,
Okay.
what are we cooking
Wait,
here?
did we see
Wait,
Because that's not a pro. Anyway, video game.
that,
Yeah. So something
I mean,
happened.
Frozen Pro is still a solid pick,
Oh,
I would say.
Yeah, I don't. It's not a third by any means. It's just like I thought Gal was a decent adaptation from that. So, that was a really fast inkjet coming up from Nova already. It is. So
I would hope the Nova is getting inkjets really fast.
one would imagine.
But, I mean, this is... I was talking about I want to see some funky picks. We're seeing nothing but funky picks here. Other than the Gal, everything is so out of left field.
Yeah.
That-
Go.
The Reflex, I think, is what's surprising me the most. I know it's got, like, an actual decent kit now, but you still don't really see it, other than, like, a few dedicated players.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like Duck Motif. They did that willingly. Like. Alright. Well.
And we get the wipeout, too. Alright, let's see how Will brings it back from here. Gonna push up, get some ink on the ground really fast, and hopefully hold them in their base a little bit while we try to hold all of this ground very securely. But we have Nova coming out right back with the inkjet, pushing him back onto the zone, getting a pick with it, getting taken down though.
Like heard that shot around the corner to get that kill onto the pencil, and because of it, the guy just walk right back in at that zone. So yeah, 4165. These are like nothing burger points. It's still really for anyone. You see the sword go down the back line, and so does the junior. So this is effectively a soft full, or like a full reset. Like, oh my god, look how far up they are. They're like locking their base now.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a reset that was when we're going all the way up here. Well, at least not for WoW. It was not much of a reset. War season, we have holding them into their base. We have the sword coming down, getting down to the zone.
Watch out
Let's
for
see
the Gal,
if they
though.
can get the Smiles nose down.
Oh, they did. Wait,
Wait,
it says to go.
they do? Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, clip that,
Yeah.
clip that.
Alright, we will be seeing a Twitter.com folks soon. They have lots of resources. They got everything, the missiles, the zip bubble coming all out right now. I don't know, maybe it should have been staggered a little bit. Like, they were still in their base, and they decided to use everything. So they could have conserved these a little bit more. And, you know, here comes the counter special. So I'm not sure if that was the play, but it's buying them some points. and
Yeah.
now they're all done.
I think fresh off of a wipeout and they're still barely respawning might not be the best time to use all of your team specials at once.
I mean, it's working.
But, I mean, they're still holding their zone. They're still holding the zone. So, and they get the lead now too. So let's see. We just gotta hold them out of the zone here, but they get the zone back on board season, rushing up into the hallway here, popping the whale. Not really getting anything with it though.
That was close. I thought this guy died to the bomb. It's a very narrow lead, but, you know, lead's a lead, and 2 minutes left on the clock. This is looking pretty good. Like, I'm not confidently saying, you know, it's in either team's favor. I feel like they have to watch out. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that they have to watch out for the sword. Like, the sword, like, jumped in last time and just shot them all dead, and, you know, they wouldn't want that to happen again. Lead does go back to Boy Season, and, you know, this is effectively, we got one push to go back in now. So, they gotta lead down some zone. Someone?
I mean,
Oh
we
my
have
God.
the sword.
Against the Flux?
We have
I don't think so.
Pro taken down. That's bad. Yeah.
Fro
War
Pro?
season takes that first set.
Frozen, no?
Yeah, it's a Frozen Pro. Pro.
That's new. I'm a Frozen truther.
I mean, it's just Kensa. Kensa Pro again.
There we go. Okay. I can't lie. I thought that they were gonna get dumpstered. Not to discredit WoW. I just think War Season's good. But that's
No,
pretty-
I agree.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
pretty good showing. Like, it's a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. So now I'm thinking this set really can go the distance. WoW putting up a pretty good fight in that first game, moving into not counterpick. Hold on, what is it? TC Haggle, when I put that on the screen. Come on.
TC Haggle. This is one of the snowbally maps ever. Once you break past that checkpoint right near the tent, like, you just run from there.
Yeah, once you break that second checkpoint, like, similar to Inkblot, that second check is going to be the point of contention. Like, maybe if you're both goated, you'll, you know, squeeze out points on that third check, but it's almost that, like, top right tent that's going to be difficult to break through. So, you know, we'll see what resources they choose to use there. I actually really like the Anova pick for this map. I feel like Inkjet clears that top right super well, and especially, like, clears that ledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, unironically, I think like Innova used the method. Like back in my day, we used to queue BP Innova on this map. So I like it.
I mean, Nova's been going a little crazy this whole time, I must say. They've
Yeah.
been getting some really impressive shots off of that inkjet. I mean, it's true inkjet gaming. Inkjet gaming. You don't see that much anywhere else.
Yeah, like maybe I'm gassing up a Nova for no reason, and maybe it's just Nova's good in the sticks. But I like Inkjet here, and I think that them being an excellent pilot of the thing is gonna be super difficult for Woe to compete against.
You know, honestly, I'm excited to see what crazy stuff Board Season brings out this time. Because I feel like they're just pulling out crazy stuff just to flex at this point. Maybe I'm crazy, but I like seeing it. And Woe can still put on a really good showing, even if they're doing it just to flex.
Oh, for sure. On the side of Woe as well, though, like obviously Bubble's gonna be an excellent pick for clearing any checkpoint and all the invincibility. But the rest of the weapons,
Bubbles the tower special.
yeah. Alright. I forgot to press the button. Okay, here we go.
All
No
right.
changes though. Well, I see it on YouTube. Now solid picks. So
We got the goober. We
Hey,
have a
real.
custom goober coming out. Wow.
okay,
Okay, I want to see if they can cook on this stamper here with the goober.
I don't
Because
dislike it.
first of all, you never see a GooTuber anywhere. Secondly,
Oh,
if you do,
that's-
it's not the custom. But this is exactly what we were talking about
Where's
here.
the last
Goaded
one?
on the sticks with that inkjet,
Oh, they
immediately getting some crucial picks, and they are rolling that tower in.
That might have been the fastest fight we've seen on stream like ever. Like the first guy already respawned by the time the light finished. But, you know, I like the Goober pick because Fizzy on the top right, kind of annoying to fight against. Especially the hammer to be thrown too. Like this could really just control everything on that top right, which is the point of contention. Where are you? Oh my god.
Somehow, they went to the left side, and they're crawling their way in. And now, we just have a junior being annoying in the base.
Yeah, things are
Is it
happening.
usually the one you see being annoying?
Guys,
I don't usually see a junior. Really, I don't usually see juniors being annoying. I would see it more from Nova or the gal. That gal has been very annoying in every match we've seen it in. But I think the junior is killing me.
things are happening though, because like that junior searching might not be the thing you were expecting, but it was definitely doing a good job there. It just needed someone on the tower to accompany it. So, you know, you'd think that where are you? They tap shot the sword? They got the pen too?
What?
Yo, things are happening.
Wait, this goober is doing everything I could have ever dreamed this goober to be doing. This is exactly what I wanted to see from goober gameplay.
This is
Let's see if this sword can get this tower back for him and start getting a push on the side of Woe.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's gonna be the start of their push, but they go down 2-3 down. They just don't get a foot on the field at all. What? Effectively a wipe here onto Woe. It's looking kind of bad.
I mean, we're watching the gal just do exactly what we've been watching the gal do every single time. The sword takes him down. Sword takes Goober down. I don't think they'll be down for very long, though. I think the second that Goober comes back, we're going to see something ridiculous. But I want to see how Woe can push this tower up. Oh, they're back. Okay.
No, this is the enemy's base. They're still behind them. And the gal's jumping into them too. This is like, these are elite skirmishes happening right now.
This is... I don't know how they're getting where they're getting.
Guys, the tower.
Somehow we miss it every single time. We blink, and either the gal is up there, the junior's up there, or the goober's up there.
Had a lockdown on the spec again. There's so much happening. They managed to go 2 down, so on the reel this time, this might be a chance for them to push. Like, you know, a few more kills. I think that's credit to Epic Face, who just shot them. So, this is their chance to go.
I mean, you don't live very long when you have a sword
Okay.
directly in your face, unless it's a goober who you're trying to get into their face.
Yeah, I mean, this is
I'm-
the first time we've seen them really get to move here, but they're kind of getting collapsed on. They managed to break that first checkpoint, so, you know, nice permanent progress. Maybe they get to take the lead here, too. Epic Face might be the GOAT. Wait, hold on.
I was about to say this might be the end of their push. Now it is, but I had confidence that Epic Face could have held it down. Just one sword in a dream.
Yo. Like okay. It's a very narrow lead for them to get, but considering that's the only push that they got in like 3.5 minutes, I'd be grateful for that. Now, the problem is just, how do you hold the line for the next min 15? This is a very strong team, very in-your-face, aggressive. Well, I guess that's the answer. Flank and shoot them. Close it out?
I mean, when the answer to them is flanking you, you flank them back. That's got to be the answer, and it looks like it's working, to be honest.
Yeah,
We got Team Aster popping this bubble, attacking their bubble, shooting them down, and they're all just collapsing on this tower, jump camping everyone on board season, jumping in. They get the wipeout, and this might be the solid push that they need.
Okay, so after like nearly 4 minutes of struggle, they got some life. Like they had that first push that wasn't like super deep, but this is like a good place for them. Like they get a full wipe. They're continuing to get kills. Like you said, this Gaster just got like 3. That's a full wipeout. All right, no, that's unless we see like the most devastating comeback ever. Oh, gotta ask them.
I mean, considering everything we've seen board season playing, it's possible. It's definitely possible.
It's possible, but Bubble on
Especially
Tower,
with what they've been doing this whole time. Bubble on tower
yeah.
might be the death sentence here. Especially when you're at this point. We're at the point where the snowball's rolling down the hill.
Yeah, not even the power boards can stop the push this strong. Whoa, showing signs of life, and you know, taking that first. Oh my god, second game.
Second game.
Oh,
I mean,
I think it's KO.
we're not sweeping. We're going to at least a game 4. We have some cinema going on here.
Real. I won't lie. I had a little bit of fear in my heart for them. It's not a counter pick. I was a little bit scared to see how things would go. But they brought it back. Like, that was a struggle for that first 3 minutes. Like, they really couldn't get their footing in the game at all. Like, it was almost like playing with their food kind of deal, but then they messed around a little bit too hard and found out. So, yeah. Sets now tied, moving into Zones Robo.
I think their issue at the end there was that they kept trying to do the same exact thing, right? Where they just walk around them, walk behind them, and just wipe them out. But Woe definitely became privy to that idea, and they were able to stop them before they were able to really do any damage from behind them.
I think so. They figured out the method. Like, obviously these guys are just mechanically super duper good, and them flanking you is going to be difficult every single time. But if you just all like collectively deal with that issue and like swap a fly, then you're sitting pretty. But on zones, you know, there's not as much opportunity for you to like freely move around and all that. I'm not super confident. Not a list. Oh,
Especially on this map too.
Wait, they're playing real guns.
Ramen is. Hang on. Okay, we got the nod out. I like Rain on this map. I feel like Rain does a lot here.
Am I quiet?
But
Sorry.
this map is like deceptively big because it looks like it's really movable, but it's just that one lone hallway in the back that you're never gonna use. You have like the little bit that's where you fall off from that little back plat there, but you don't go past that.
Yeah, nobody told me I was quiet. I hate my life. I guess. Yeah, okay, so they're playing like quirk things for the last 2 games and the set before that, but now they bring up Pen and the Nautilus and the Gal. Somehow doing worse? Like that's 3 down on or from Woe. I don't know. What's
Maybe they just have to play the quirked up comps. Maybe a normal comp is not for them, and they have to be quirked up to win.
I mean,
Because you see, Woe holding them back really strongly. They're starting to get a little bit of a pushback in here. The pencil coming in, Jet coming in. But I want to see if they're able to hold it strong.
I think it's also like just because it's Robo and you have this like one singular straight that you can push, like you don't get the opportunity to flank nearly as much as you did in Haggle. So the Gal doesn't get to run wild behind them and just shoot them in the back.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying at the start of the match, is that you have that back hallway there, but you don't take it, ever.
Oh, no, hold on, I'm just gonna... Wait. Shoot him. Come on. Nice.
Nice little trade. Works out nicely. Maybe. Okay, we have some Jet gaming going on here. Gets 2 picks off the Jet. Little tap shot from the pencil. And we're holding very dominantly over this zone. We have a cooler out, but we're 2 down. Let's see if we can take out this other pencil back there. But no, we get taken out ourselves.
Yeah, 27. Super nice first push. Like, I think that was just straight down 2 there, and that was a pretty long hold from them, applying 54 points penalty, which I feel like goes by really fast, so... Now the ball's in...
It definitely does. It definitely does. I mean, we have the jet out again. This jet has been really crucial.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah. Wipe out from the jet there. And like I was saying, it's been crucial to how they've been moving the team up through this zone and up into Woe's base.
Yeah, like... I don't even know what to say about them. Like, they're so consistent. They're hitting all the shots that I would flub and probably die to. So, yeah, they're... Like, Inkjet's never been bad, it's just taking a talented pilot, and they're definitely that.
Yes, Inkjet takes a lot more skill than it looks. The way you bounce around and... Oh, wow.
Ew, bro.
Wow! I hope they clip that. I want to see this clip on twitter.com later. But Inkjet does take a lot of skill to pilot. You're so floaty, it's hard to really properly aim on the Inkjet, and... You kind of have to know how your shots are going to arc after you shoot.
Oh, okay. If they die here, I think it could be reps. So, I hope they don't feed. But yeah, I was more so meaning, like, Inkjet used to be, like, super big radius, like, you just shoot in their general vicinity and die. But now it's been more like, like, you have to be good at the thing, and... yeah, they are. Definitely getting all those picks. It's been super crucial to their team success.
Wow, we might have another hallway taker there. I feel like, is this commentator's curse? Do they just make me eat my words
that's
all
so
the
corny.
time?
Don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get off the stage. 15 points. It's kind of not looking that good. It might be wraps. Like unless
this,
if the
yeah, I think it is here.
Yeah,
It's definitely wraps when you're at below 10 and you have Maratu in your base.
So like I think we can agree that Robo would have been a map that favors 4th season though. Like, or sorry, Mo, right? Like they can't get flanked as easily as Haggle. But now you move on to Clam Blitz on Umami, which is like the flank map to ever do it. So then what? Like I feel like if anything was going to be a 4th season map, it'd be this one, huh?
I think so. And
Yeah.
I feel like because it's the flank to ever flank, we're gonna see crazy picks again.
I hope
But
so.
maybe they'll call me wrong and they're just gonna pull out the most normal comp ever again. I mean, we'll see.
I think they're trying to get the stupidest possible SOS winners graphic, so they like focused up for that last game, and now they're gonna go with super quirks. But I mean, like as Woe, how do you deal with that? Like it's not a quick adaptation to make to be able to deal with aggressive flanks that are mechanically like goated. So what do you do? Like, band as a team? What does that look like? What are you gonna do?
I think definitely here you have to always keep your eyes on the sides with how War Season is probably going to play this map. I really don't know what Woe could pull out on their end, weapons-wise, that would really be a decent counter to War Season, especially because War Season has not been consistent at all, except for Nova and Maratu. You have 2 wild cards.
Yeah.
That every match you're playing something different.
I'm not sure it's gonna be a weapon thing. Like if there's nothing wrong with anything they're playing. Like Junior, great weapon. Pen, well, doesn't need to be said. Sword, obviously great if you can manage that huge mech requirement. So it's not like they gotta fix their weapons because they're like throwing. Nothing of the sort. It's just like having to change your whole playstyle on the fly. Maybe hard adaptation to make.
Absolutely. I think War Season 2 is definitely aware that Woe knows that they're looking at their flanks now. So they might also be playing a little different than they have been. Because we didn't really see too many flanks in the last match. We saw a couple, but definitely not as many as we were seeing in, like, Hagglefish.
Yeah, I mean, partially just because, like, you can't. You got the...
That, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, hold on.
An ink brush. All right. Okay.
Alright, so...
We have a custom ink brush, so we have those mines and the hammer, which they're gonna walk themselves in, I feel like.
Yeah, not what we were expecting to see. No paintbrush, no H3, no more quirk. I think A-Nova is still kind of quirky, and, like, Inkbrush Novo is not as quirky as you'd think. Pretty decent pick. I see surprisingly often. So, lots of standard stuff coming out from them, and it's definitely going to play into their strengths being, like, super reps.
Yeah, there's definitely been a rise in the ink brush. I don't know what clicked in people's heads,
Yeah.
but I've seen it a lot more than I used to. I'm happy about it. I love seeing brushes get up there.
Yo.
And this is exactly what I said. They're just gonna walk themselves in. They're gonna take the ink brush with the stamp, and they're gonna take the A-Nova with the jet and just walk in.
Alright, the only person that can escape that lockout is Epic, because they get to fly out of it, see if they can do anything to break lockout for their teammates, but they're pretty firmly just staying here, like, continuing to get picks from their snipe, fully controlling that dome. So,
The ink brush knows they have to play the waiting game. Not everything must be run in, such as was said by Sun Tzu.
are you dude?
Trying to get 360 no scopes on the jet here. I mean, we're having fun, I gotta say. But I want to see Woe be able to push this back up. They're definitely not going to be able to do the same, just walk right in like you own the place that Boar season was. But I think if they're able to put their sword in some good positions here, they have a chance at getting that basket open.
You talk about clip farming. That might be the most egregious one I've seen.
But we have 2 balls on the side of Boar season here, and I'm scared for Woe. They're staring them down in their base. Okay, the brush is walking in. Yeah, there it goes. We have just hold on to the stamp. Get the basket open. Yep.
I'm so out of it. They have a bajillion plans. They have all the control in the world. They're just playing their food at this point. Like, you saw what they were doing on the ink chat. You saw what they were doing with Brush. I don't even know. Like, they got plans scale right here. Like, Pen could throw all 3 in. And that's the tournament! SOS 200 going to Boar season. Our 45th seed. Incredible upset from these fledgling players, and proud of them.
New and upcoming team Starburst. Congratulations to Boar season here. Even if it was being silly, I liked seeing all the silliness.
100%.
It was still very fun to watch.
Yeah, I loved the pick of the ink chat. It was a treat to get to watch that thing after a bajillion years of its dormancy. So I'm very happy to see the A-Nova and everything quirky that they were pulling out. So I mean,
yeah, it's been a long time since ballpoint meta.
Back in my day. All right, we're not.
But either way, fun picks. We casted SOS. They put the streamers on the mic. I'm Sam. I'm Sama Fariz. You can find me under that name everywhere. Oh, you're not ready to close out?
No, I need.
Please say your piece.
I don't know piece. Like, I already did all the tournament stuff I do. I'm only here because they didn't have a streamer. So. Yay, SOS! Congratulations.
Yay, SOS.
It's 202.
You can find me on.
Here. There we go. Show
oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, somewhere.
End screen.
Wait, show up. Hey, rotate it.
Eventually. There we go. You can find me right there. SummerFreeze.bluesky.social. I'm also that same username on like literally everything else but Twitter. But Splatoon doesn't really use Twitter anymore, so that doesn't really matter. But you'll find me on Dapple for In the Zone on Saturday, and then on Under Pressure for Prison Break on Sunday. But it was. I like streaming the baby streams sometimes too.
You're insane.
But it was a good time. Ellie?
No, none of that. Alright, that was SOS 200. Goodbye, and good night.
Bye.